Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Cataclysm of Hyrule campaign. I am the GM Puck Finn, as well as the creator of the campaign, and welcome for those who are joining us. Before we get started tonight, we're going to go through a couple of kind of just beginning intros as we usually do, and then we will delve right into it. For those who are part of our Discord server, I left a little note kind of teasing as to where we left off, but I will recap that before we begin. So, the first thing I always like to talk about is our Discord server, and I'd like to invite everyone to join because that is where the bulk of a lot of stuff outside of the campaign happens in between sessions. It can be anything from just general conversation to sharing arts and memes to really anything that there's kind of a need for. So as of right now, this Discord server is mostly used for content regarding this specific campaign, but as this Twitch channel grows and things start to expand, so will the Discord server. So one of the things that I'd like to do with that is it's really just a good way to kind of keep in touch with what's going on between sessions. We have a link tree that we operate. It's got a ton of good links on it. There's a link to our YouTube channel, a link to our Twitch, our Roll20, a link to our Discord. There is the links for the previous Twitch channels that we have raided at the end of our sessions. I believe we just did a raid 2 weeks ago. We raided one of our mutual followers, Impossible Girl, who unfortunately was just about to end her broadcast as we were ending ours, but it was still good to touch base and kind of be part of each other's community. In fact, after she ended her broadcast, she took us and raided her chat room to another player that she was that she knew. So really, that's kind of like, honestly, with the terms of why we raid at the end of the broadcast, that's kind of one of the reasons why, is this is really all a big and growing community, and that is kind of one of the ways that we can reach out to other people, make our presence known, kind of find common ground with people that we didn't know. I've mentioned in the past the way that I personally came across Impossible Girl was through a Critical Role broadcast in a chat room. So yeah, that's kind of that's how you make friends, and that's how you meet people. So in line with that, for those people who don't currently follow our Twitch channel, especially if you are somebody who broadcasts yourself, we have a thing going where if you follow us, we will follow you back, and at the end of a broadcast, if you are having your own broadcast, we will potentially raid you. We will raid one of our mutual broadcasts at random. But full disclosure, there has never been more than one person who has been broadcasting at the end of our own broadcast. So yeah. But if there are multiple ones, then one will be rated at random. So if you want to be a part of that, definitely follow us. If you enjoy our broadcast, definitely follow us. But one of the things that I always say is if I can ask you to quite simply do one thing, that one thing is currently subscribe to our YouTube channel, because there's a lot of interesting things coming down the line. We are going to potentially try something new with our YouTube channel. So if you're interested in that and seeing what is going to be coming down the line, subscribing is the best way to do that. Admittedly, it won't have anything to do with the Legend of Zelda campaign. It will be another separate production that we're going to be doing. So I've talked to a number of people. We're still kind of flushing out and finishing a lot of minor details. So hopefully we will be able to do a live broadcast. Hopefully before the end of June. That's the timeline we're looking at. So that gives you a bit of time to acclimate yourself to all of our interesting social media links. There is another link that we've added to our link tree. And I took a moment to talk in length about it during our chat broadcast, and I showed the webpage. It is a person who does commissioned artwork and has done a piece of commissioned artwork for this campaign, specifically our new character, Afine. So definitely check out. But even before I showed the page, I took a moment and I, looked over the page, and he makes some really cool stuff, especially coming from somebody who has, I am completely artistically inept. As I say, I could draw a stick figure and you would not know it was a stick figure. So I always do have an interest in people who are artistically inclined, and definitely worth checking that page out. So I believe that's it for our beginning announcements. I'm going to do a quick recap, and then we'll switch over and meet the players. So the bulk of last session took place in and around Death Mountain. They were requested by the Adventurers Guild to clear out a cave that was known to be used by an NPC by the name of Pebbles, who was a general trade vendor at the foot of Death Mountain. And in clearing out the cave, our party did not know what they were going into. And they ended up clearing out I believe, 6 electric Lizalfos. Excuse me. And they also found a golden Lizalfos in there, which was an awesome part of the battle. And if you have not seen the last session, definitely check out the YouTube page. Even if it's just for the last 20 minutes, 30 minutes of the campaign, just to watch the culmination of that battle. It was an amazing battle. But, watch the whole thing preferably. So, in the cave, they also found our new party member, Afine, who was being held captive by the Golden Lizalfos. And our party was able to rescue her, and she joined the party. And one of the things about joining this campaign that I will sometimes point out is every person that joins the campaign starts at level 1. And admittedly, for new players, that more often than not is not something that they look forward to, starting at level 1. And I always reassure them that even though you start at level 1, you do not stay level 1 for long, because this campaign has been running for quite some time, and we have a lot of capable players who deal a lot of damage, that deal a lot of XP, and they're also really wonderful with taking on new players. So I have never seen this party throw a new player to the wolves ever. They're a great bunch of people, and I'm very fortunate to have them in this campaign. So, but my point with that was, after the battle, which Afine joined the campaign, I believe she jumped to level 4 or 5. I think it's 4. So yeah, if you're ever thinking of joining this campaign, one of the things is, don't let the fact that you starting off as a level 1 character stop you, because you will become first of all, you are in good hands with the party, and two, if you worry about the level progression because it is an XP based game, you don't stay low level for very long. I've seen it happen time and time again. So after the battle, they traveled to Goron Village, where they immediately noticed a lot of uh, kind of subtle differences from the last time that they had visited Goron Village in their own respective timeline. And the campaign session ended with them finding, going into Chief Link's hut, where it's late at night, so he was asleep, and, well, they disturbed his slumber. So the last moments of the previous session ended with a good berry being thrown into Chief Link's mouth, which caused him to choke and wake up, and his head kind of turned in an angry, glaring fashion towards the entrance to his tent where our party was standing there. And that is where we ended the session. So that is where we will pick up. But before we get to that, I would like to introduce you to our players. I love when the cameras work almost exactly like they should. So I'm going to take a moment to get Athene squared away. But as we're doing that, first thing I'd like to do is, how you doing, Gully?
Very well. Looking forward to potentially cracking some more heads.
Wonderful, wonderful. Hopefully not the chief, but we will see. We will see.
Well, if he needs it.
Yeah, I mean, if it calls for it, it calls for it. All right. So very, very good to have you back, and yeah, I'm excited to see how it's going to go. Deacon, how you doing?
Uneasiness about waking the chief up, rivaled only by uneasiness of my stomach. Point me at somebody and I will probably throw up on them. Okay.
All right. Well,
having that kind of day.
I can tell already that Lito is putting that to good use. Lito plans on putting that to good use.
Do not shake the Deacon today.
Welcome back, as always. It's good to have you as well. Lito, how you doing?
I'm good. No worries. I got this. He knows us. We're heroes. He can't, punch my brains out with, one hit. No, I'm fine.
All right. Sounds wonderful. And we will see how this pans out, because I believe it was you who threw the good berry.
I didn't get it in his mouth.
Oh,
Gully did.
Gully? Oh, Gully did. Okay. And returning for her second session, we have Athene. How you doing, Athene?
I am doing great, and hopefully returning for many more in the future.
Yes, we hope that as well. So
I'm also glad I am the one standing at the back of the group, not holding any good berries.
clean hands, very important. Very important. So yes,
Plausible deniability.
we look forward to you returning for many more sessions as well. And without further ado, let's dive into it. So, as stated, after throwing multiple good berries in an attempt to wake the snoring chief, Gully tosses the one that sinks square into his mouth, landing down his throat, causing him to momentarily choke and cough and turn to his side before presumably spitting out the good berry. And then, with his back to you, his head slowly turns over his shoulder with a fiery look in his eyes, daggers gleaming towards the entrance to the tent.
I would like to take this opportunity to subtle spell enhance ability on myself.
Okay,
Targeting charisma.
you got it.
Because I'm going to need that. As I look at him and I say, "Hello, food delivery."
Oh, I was gonna go. Do you remember us?
Oh, that too.
Also, that's wasteful. That berry could feed you for a full day. I know it's night, and I know you were asleep, but you would have a good full stomach, which is good to sleep on. Isn't that what they say? Going, is it what they say? You eat and then you go to sleep. It's like the best process.
Not healthy, but
Technically, you
good for sleep.
probably shouldn't eat and then go right to sleep because then it's not good on your body. Maybe 3 to 4 hours before you go to sleep. Yeah, but yeah, you don't want to eat before. Sorry, Chief. Never mind. We'll continue this conversation later. Sorry.
We had some very important news for you that we thought was something that we should get to you fairly soon. See.
Also, your security, not that great. We just walk by him.
The chief kind of holds up his hand, and his body begins to turn. And he's kind of like, at this point, he's sitting up with his legs outstretched in front of him. And he comes across with his other hand, and he's holding the good berry and just squishes the good berry. At first, I thought that this was a dream. But even in my dreams, I could not put together the mental prattling that I'm witnessing at this hour of the night. So it mustn't be a dream.
No, it's totally a dream. Everybody start walking out of the tent. Everybody, it's a dream. See, why would there be two Zoras? See, it's just weird. We should leave the tent. Everybody back out.
I start doing my best Scooby-Doo impression of like tiptoeing around.
He very slowly gets up to a standing position, standing in a way that expresses that he's used to simply towering over people, but this party is many people in this party are much larger than the average person. So, but he's like holding himself.
He towers over Deacon.
Yeah, he stands up erect, very barrel chested, like his elbows are kind of cocked out, and he kind of starts to take slow, purposeful steps until he's right in front of Deacon and Leto. And he grabs you both in a big hug. He goes, "Oh, I didn't know if I would ever see you again. How have you been?"
I'm so glad you're not that angry. To be honest, we actually had an important thing that we came here to do. See, one of the reasons we thought we wanted to wake you up is because we wanted so not sure if you remember some of our last adventure, but I burned my last sorcery point to subtle spell message, and I asked Leto, and you can silently respond to me with this. Is it okay if I tell him about the temples? One of the things about the temples is that his father is like the sage.
She's gonna look at you like, your dad's a sage?
No, like Link's dad's a sage.
Yeah, like Chief Link.
Yeah.
Your dad's a sage.
Yeah. So But yeah, I was whispering that to you, like asking if it's okay if we tell him about the temple stuff.
Oh no, Leto's just said that out loud.
Gotcha.
Just
Sorry, I
blurted
wasn't
it.
sure. Okay. I Dekun like stutters for a second and goes, "Yeah, so about that, we were looking into exploring the fire temple, and amongst other things, we wanted to prepare you for that. I'm not sure if you're, well, sorry, I'm a little bit flustered. What me wanted to say is, uh, partially we wanted your permission, or at least I wanted your permission before we went exploring too much in that temple again. And it's looking like we're going to be doing that in the morning. And well, we wanted to be as prepared as possible. Also, I wanted to know if in this in the last couple of years, did you have opportunity that may have come by? Have you heard from your father, Link? Sorry.
These are heavy questions for this time of night. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit groggy and foggy, but um, let me try to, I suppose, catch you up, as it has been a long time since we've seen each other. But before that, I see your party has grown since we have
Yes.
last seen each other.
I point to Gully and go, this friend Gully goes back a long time with Leto. And he
Gully immediately goes over to go in for a hug.
Hell yeah.
Does he let me hug him?
he So as you go around, are you going for like a body hug or just?
Yep.
Okay, so you go in for this like big old body hug, and when you do that, Gully was what, about 6 feet?
No, he's 7'6" now.
7. Oh, okay, nice. Okay, so you come up to he still has just the tiniest bit of height on you, and as you like wrap your arms around him, you notice that he does not reciprocate. It's almost like you feel like you're hugging almost a tree, in the sense that it's a little bit abrasive, and you're not getting anything back from it. But as you kind of like raise your eyes a little bit to him during the hug, he kind of takes a hand and kind of puts it on your shoulder in both a like calming and reassuring way, but also ever so gently pushing you back.
Oh, good to meet you. Good to meet you. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, what? Yeah, good to meet you.
He goes, yes, any friend of Deacon and Leto's is in good company and speaks volumes.
I say, hey, we got really cool thing out of one of those Dodongos we fought, and I point at his shield. I say, Gully here has been making really good use of it so far. Kicking major butt.
Up. There seems to be 4 of you.
Yes, sorry. Hi. This is Athene. We met her very shortly. Sorry, got excited.
Oh, okay. Well, if you are new to these friends, I will. It is a pleasure to meet you, Athene, as it is Gully, and be rest assured that you are in good hands. I've known these 2 gentlemen for a very long time, and they are both of good and strong heart.
Athene will put her hand over her chest and bow deeply. It is an honor to meet you, Chief Link.
So one of the things that you notice about Chief Link, I think I've mentioned it before, but he has both arms functional. He no longer has the one obsidian arm. And so
And I
What
see he no longer has the stick either,
the stick?
wedged up his butt.
Oh yes. So while this dialogue is going on, while the like slow, purposeful walking is shaking the ground, and while this whole kind of interaction is going along, you start to hear or notice that there's a stirring in a pile of pillows nearby where he was sleeping.
You have a pet?
You have a kid?
She a feminine voice starts
Oh,
to grumble, and she says,
Ludo's just gonna turn bright purple and start walking backwards as fast as he can.
she goes, what's going on? I'm trying to sleep.
Nothing, it's a dream. Get us back to sleep. We're not really here. We're gonna be here tomorrow morning.
And Chief Link goes, I'm terribly sorry to disturb you, my dear, but since you are awake, why not make proper introductions? And so the pile of pillows begin to part. And this, I would say, younger, kind of a later teenage Goron starts to come out of the pile of pillows. In fact, some of the stones that you had, some of the precious stones that you had seen in the tent when you first joined, now that she's standing up, you notice that they are some of them are ornamentally tied to her. And so she is very extravagantly dressed for a Goron. She's got like this jewel necklace, a bunch of things in her arms, ankles, and as she comes to stand up, Chief Link puts his arm around her, grasping her far shoulder, and he says, "Everybody, I would like you to meet my daughter."
Wow. So happy. Nice to meet you, Link's daughter. What's your name? Nidiku.
And she says, "I am Juliet. It is a pleasure," and she starts to like grit her teeth a little bit, "to meet you." So
Man.
Hi, Juliet. Pleasure to meet you as well.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I do apologize if we disturbed you.
I'm still not here. It's a dream.
oh, let me fix that. There we go. Okay, so and she goes, "Yes, it's very nice to meet you. I'm going back to bed." And she burrows back underneath the pile of pillows and kind of disappears from everybody.
So happy you have a daughter now, Fling. That really cool. Wait, what were we saying?
We should probably cut this short. She's trying to sleep.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So it okay if we meet up with you tomorrow? Sorry our enthusiasm overwhelmed us, but could not wait to see you again, to be honest.
Well,
it was very nice meeting up with you.
It's I thank you for stopping by and announcing your presence and intent. I did not expect the end of the day to go this in this direction, but as always, you and your friends are a welcome presence in the village as well as anywhere on Death Mountain.
Thank you, Chief Link. We look forward to seeing you again when everybody kind of awake again. May have a thing or two to show you potentially.
Oh, so
Well, long story. Sorry. Basically, well, sorry. I mean, I can tell you a story in the morning. Not want to get carried away. Deacon is very excited right now. Honestly, ever since he got the happy reception, Deacon hasn't been able to he's just glad things are going well for Goron Village.
yes. Well,
This is quite the relief on his shoulders, in truth.
Well, I guess I will see you in the morning then.
One question. One other reason we wanted to come in here. Is there inn that we could sleep in? Maybe. Not sure how to find something like that. It's very different than last time we came here.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's and he takes a moment to just kind of describe that the location that was the previous hostel that you guys are familiar with. That is an aspect that it's still there.
Gotcha. That's good to hear. More things change, more stay same.
Yes. So, and he goes, well, I guess, and he kind of he goes, well, I don't even know if I should consider it. I don't even know if I should say I'll see you tomorrow at this point because it might be tomorrow already. So, I'll see you in a few hours.
See you soon.
See you soon. And all right. So anything else before you exit Chief Link's hut?
Throw him another good berry.
I was thinking that. I will give him another good berry for his daughter to have.
Okay.
She can have mine.
He does not squash them this time.
Nice.
All right. So as you start to make your way out of the hut, you can see that the two guards are no longer at their post. They're actually they got about halfway to the hut before they're just kind of standing there, and they both are leaning on rather large spears, and they seem to be a bit winded.
Just a heads up, guys. You're fired, and you're fired. Have a nice night.
He goes, and he goes, one turns to the other, goes, see, I told you they'd be okay. And the second one's like, listen, I was sure that the chief was going to give you a pound, and if you are coming out unscathed, I'm sure that we are going to be fine too.
You know how important we are? We could have you fired. So you watch your butt.
Physically impossible, sir.
Oh yeah, Gorons are resistant.
You should watch each other's butts then.
That we can do.
I'm going to sleep now.
All right.
Because I have more lines tomorrow to tell you.
All right. So do you plan on going straight to the hostel, or do you want to make any detours?
Everything's closed.
Yeah, it'd be good to head to the hostel.
Everything is pretty much closed.
Best.
All right. Okay. No exhaustion rolls then. All right.
Long rest will let me recover several of my antics. It will be nice.
All right. So you come across this big tent, and there's kind of this front desk area, but there's simply a sign on the desk with nobody present. Does anybody speak Goron?
No.
Sorry, no.
I walk past. I say, that sign won't stop me. I can't read.
But wait. I look at Gully. And you read it now? I point to, like, my
Yes,
head.
I can definitely read it now because, yes, I have
Yeah.
this on my head.
Right. Okay. Have you attuned to it?
Yep, because we already used it in the back
Oh,
in the
that's
cave.
right. That's right. Okay. So the note simply reads, gone to bed. Feel free to pick a pillow. And you can see that there is there's 3 people currently just completely passed out in the tent. Oh, and there's like a little cup, presumably for any type of monetary donation.
I leave a red rupee in the cup and go pick an appropriately Deku-sized pillow if there is one.
I put my last good berry in the cup and go get a pillow.
All right. And what about Gully and Afine?
Yep, grab a pillow.
I'll put 3 rupees in the cup and find a quiet place away from everyone else.
Sounds good. All right. So you have a rather restful slumber, especially given the ordeal that you have had on this day between the battling and the travel and the even brief interaction with Chief Link, was found to be unusually mentally taxing. So when you guys go down, you go down hard, and you have one of the most restful sleeps that you can recall having in a long time. So by the time you awake, you know what? Yeah. So by the time you awake, the sun is out. The 2 of the 3 Gorons that were previously present in the tent are no longer present, and the 3rd one is kind of sitting there at the desk, and everything is gone from the bowl except for the good berry. So when she starts to see you stirring, she calls out to your party. She goes, late night you had.
It all part of the adventuring process. Staying up past bedtime, most fun part of adventure.
The adventuring type, no doubt. I could not see any other reason that we would find 2 Zora this far into Death Mountain, as well as walking kindling, and a rather strapping young man, if I must say.
Oh, thank you.
And then she starts to come around the corner, and
He
you,
winks back at her.
you can hear the as she walks, you hear a thumping of a cane as she's coming around the corner, and she looks at Gully, and in her hunched over demeanor with long straggly gray hair, she just gives Gully a wink. Anytime. So
And he reaches into a pouch and says, "Oh yeah, here. By the way, I didn't put anything in the bowl." And he gives her 5 rupees.
and she takes it and tucks it into a satchel, and she goes, "Oh, very kind and generous, thank you. Thank you. That goes a long way. I've been running this for quite some time, and I found that the kindness of strangers is much better than creating an obligation. So it's worked well for me, and I quite honestly, I find the most interesting people to meet, and really that is what I like most about what I do.
Is that Mary? Like, do I recognize her as Mary?
Yep.
Nice. So I smile and say, "Nice to see you again, Mary. Hope you're doing well. You were very hospitable to us last time we were here too."
And she kind of like scratches her head a little bit. It looks like squints her eyes. She goes, "Huh? If you say so." I mean, I've forgotten more things than I remember, so it's good to see you again for the first time.
We he kind of thinks about it for a minute, and he's just like, well, whether first time or 100th time, nice to meet you again.
Yes.
So
Oh, sorry.
at this moment, everybody's waking up, but Leto is acting like he's asleep and slowly druid crafting. He's making like a flower crown.
Aw.
He feels bad for the berry still being left on the counter. That was totally worth it. But so he'll druid craft that real quick, make one, and then go. I guess I have to do it and make a second one. Then go. Wait, I probably need a third one too. Yes, it'll work. Okay. And then he'll shoot up and be like, I have to go outside. And I walk by the granny lady and put the flower crown on her and keep walking out the door.
Okay. And so you plop it on her head and keep going, and she looks a bit befuddled as she turns to Deacon. He goes, Did I meet him too? Because he's a curious one.
He nods. Yeah, we came in here back when the dongos were a little bit of a problem.
Oh,
It's been a long time.
yes, that is quite some time ago, and
It was
well,
tiny little shrubbery then, not even kindling.
a lot has changed since those days, and I understand why the memory eludes me at this point.
Yeah, but yeah, I know it been a long time, but you always kept things stuff, so we appreciate it. Hope Red Ruby buys you nice, tasty Goron snacks. Would have also left food, but not sure where to find it. I forget what is good for Gorons to eat.
Oh, we're not picky. There's food abound. As she kind of like gestures to like all the stones.
But yeah, well, me going to go catch up with Leto now. Hope you have a nice day. See you
All
soon.
right. Pleasure meeting you again, all of you.
Likewise. Bye. And I go
He winks
scampering.
again.
As Gully passes by, she just casually like takes one finger and like runs it down his bicep.
Oh gosh. Gully kind of has a little blush, and he keeps going.
Yeah. I scamper up after Leto. And I ask him how he slept. I say that cool trick. Crown looked nice.
Yes.
Like me shuriken that you gave me more, but this good too.
I've been getting better with the flower crowns. I need to keep up practice for, when she comes back. Wink, wink.
He nods. Absolutely. But yeah, so do you want to go meet up with Chief Link or anything? Or one of the things that me wanted to ask him was well, so when me came here before, the entrance to Goron to Fire Temple was locked. You had to play song Bolero of Fire, you know that one, so that okay, on Black Ocarina, but it had to be like steppy step in right place by right person. Legendary warrior foretold of time. That used to be someone that me knew, but me have feeling it not them anymore because this different world and me haven't seen them. So we have to find legendary warrior, and that why me wanted to ask Chief Link about it because I need to find out who that is. And I think it probably going to be a Goron. So because it will look like that last time me see it. So not sure entirely. Won't be sure until find it, but that best thing that me think of. Think it important that we find that for Temple's sake. Not saying we have to go to Temple immediately, but simply saying we would need to find that. You know what I mean?
Yes. But you
Mhm.
just described us.
True, true. Except the Goron part. That would me afraid of.
Yeah, can I turn into a Goron? Or
That'd be cool.
could I?
And you?
Pretty sure I can't.
Oh.
Or could I?
Hmm. Let me. Hmm.
And I
Ifin
did.
is going to slowly look up at Gully and say, I think I might be missing some context.
Mm,
I've got
you're
an
not
idea.
alone.
So, as Aphene says this, who knows what happens? Zop pops
Oh
out.
yeah. Excellent. All right. You see a tiny little gray orb pop out of Deacon's pocket and kind of unfolds a little bit.
It unfolds and it says, "Hello, new traveler. I am now Zop, but my objective still remains the same. I am here at the service of this party to inform information that I possess that you may need to know. And if my lack of ears have heard correctly, you are interested in the Goron prophecy."
Ooh, wow. I didn't know you'd know this, Sup. Yeah, we are interested.
Yes.
But also, excuse me. Athene, did you have any other questions? Or uh, um, just out of curiosity. Was that what you were trying to ask? Sorry. Never mind. Anyway, sorry. Sorry.
I think I got as far as you're trying to open the temples, but that's any reason?
Gotcha. So, this is just to mention our quest so far, which I don't know that Zap will know yet. Which is we're trying to essentially get in contact, I believe, with the sages again, and kind of cleanse the temples. They were unsealed by Zelda somewhat recently over the course of the last year or so, and she's asked us to go in there and explore and yeah, basically I guess help out the sages. Um, basically when we go through them, sorry. So I don't know exactly what we'll accomplish when we get to the end because we haven't gotten to the end of one yet. But we are basically doing them at the behest of Zelda at the moment. And the hard part is oh sorry. The hard part is just trying to figure out how to get in there. But anyway, sorry, I will let Zob finish with the prophecy. I just wanted to make sure that anyway.
He goes, "Oh, I may have misunderstood. Are you interested in hearing of the prophecy or all of the temples?
Let's stick with the prophecy for now, if that's all right.
The Goron prophecy, absolutely. The Goron prophecy is most well known as it is told to children as Goron children as almost a fairy tale. So what it states is that there is a child born of time that will play the song to open the fire temple. And once the fire temple is opened, the sage can be released.
So yeah. And yeah. Basically, long story short, we can help find who this person is if we head back to the end of the Dongo's cavern. There was a picture of them on the wall, and that should help us get this sorted. Was what Mia was saying. Sorry.
Right. Thank you, both.
Yes.
Thumbs up.
Did we lose? Oh wait.
Yeah, looks like the cameras went blank.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
they're back. Okay.
Yeah,
No.
they kind of went out
And
back.
now they're gone again. And now they're back again. And that's
In the machine.
hold on a minute. Yeah, the video's not shutting down on Discord. Huh. Well, let's consider that the the technical difficulty of the session. Hopefully.
Yeah. Sorry. Was thinking. That's did you guys have anything you wanted to do while we're here before we, before instead of traipsing around out there, or like anything you guys had in mind?
Yes. I do.
Okay. Do you want to get to that now, or do you want to? What kind of plan you got, my dude?
Well, I failed that, so I am gonna go. So I'm gonna use my big brain, and I am going to crap. I'm going to go look for a mask salesman who sells Goron masks because I'm going to keep that prophecy working. Because I'm going to be the prophecy. So then I can be a Goron.
Okay.
Prophecies are interesting things.
All about how you take them.
Yes. A child born of time. that is the only statement that is clear in the prophecy. So, yeah.
So, would you like me to make you a Goron mask with my disguise kit?
I think it has to be authentic. Goron making a Goron mask.
Okay. For a second there, I was like, I was very scared by what you meant.
Well, I have a Rito mask from a Rito. So I'm like, maybe it also works the same way.
Oh, maybe. That works. Okay. Well, maybe we could dig around the shops and see who we can find. there's that potter that I was told about. Maybe he'll know some other artisans who can make that for you.
So Lino is not going to be very casual about this. He was trying to be slick about it, but totally failed. And just kind of walks over to Athene, drops a flower crown on her head, and starts walking away.
I feel slightly stunned. Thank you, Lito, she says, looking over her shoulder.
Thumbs up, and just keeps walking.
Classic Lito.
Classic Lito.
I read a book that said girls like pretty things, so flowers are pretty, and I can make them.
He's very good at that. He has really given us all lots of pretty things, and I point to and slightly like spin the shuriken in my hair. Well, leaves, you know.
And a muffled voice comes from Deacon's pocket and says, "Yes, that is in a book."
See, I totally didn't make that up.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys want to look for that mass salesman first, or do you want to? How would you guys like to plan our trip for today? You want to like traipsing around for shops?
Actually,
yeah, I'm not partial to anything. So whichever direction you guys want to go. If you want to go look for the mascot, if you want to shop,
All right. Yeah. I would. All right. Well, I guess we'll go explore the shop section of town real quick, and I'll try and look for that potter that I heard about.
Okay. The potter?
Nope, not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. Got something else planned. You know, I was gonna turn around, immediately go and put a arm around Gully, put an arm around Stephanie, and start walking to wherever there's food. Because guess what? We need to bond a little bit because we don't know anything about you, Stephanie, and just because the fact that you joined our group doesn't mean we won't kill you. Just so that way you know.
What?
Thank you. I'll keep that in very close mind.
I think he's joking about that. I have not seen him kill anyone.
Am I?
Well,
I am.
okay. Alright. I will tag along behind that. Yeah, that actually sounds like a really good idea. Let's try and find a place where we can eat something other than rocks in this town.
Yes.
All right. So, looking for a place to eat proves to be a daunting task for such a small village. So the first place you kind of walk around is, looking for a perhaps like a type of restaurant or food production business. So you walk around there and you're able to find let me give it a little ping. In this area, you are able to find the hostel that you slept in. You found the potterer. You found a that like high-end general goods store or the eclectic store that you were told about.
Lito, I mean, I know you want to bond and all over food, but we're probably not going to find a place here that, deals in food that we normally can eat. So we should probably just, do our own thing. I've got some rations. I can probably go, find something out in the woods. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're gonna have food for us here.
So I will. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up her inventory. I believe Chimkin has rations to go around. If you guys want to just kind of set up like a little camp in the middle of town, we can get to know each other and just kind of over some rations. Oh, I have
You're not the best, but they'll
this is
get the
true.
job done.
Yeah. And I have like a
Yeah.
nice little comfy bedroll I can lay out for us, and we can have a chat.
I can always make something for us to eat.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the best way for us to bond. Yeah, do that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's going to be real quick because, you literally take it in your mouth, you chew it, and then it's gone. It'll be like 2 seconds, like, and we're done.
Are you good burying us again?
Aw, it always good berries.
I can make other things.
Well, can you make the good berries look like something else at least? Maybe trick my mind that I'm thinking I'm eating something else?
I can
Yes.
prestidigitate them. I will make them taste like something.
No. I have a brilliant idea.
Ooh.
Set up a little camp and give me like 20 minutes or so.
Okay.
Which is it, 5 or 20? Because that's a big difference, Lito.
I don't know how long it'll take.
Okay.
Well,
So
we'll shoot for 20.
give me a ping on where you're setting up.
Set up like right here. This looks warm. Is that okay for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So between 5 and 20 minutes, how long is the rest of the party actually going to give Leto, and what are you doing within that time frame?
I would be just kind of like setting out like a bedroll and clearing some space.
Okay. So you're going to assist them. And what about Gully and Afine? Are you kind of like assisting with the whole thing, or are you going to like break off and venture about the village, or any number of things?
Gully is going to plop down right there, and he's going to take out a cloth and start kind of shining the front of his armor.
All right.
Yeah, honestly, what me do is really just drop down a bedroll and sit on it, and I will lay down my white Poe cloak so that Afine has a clean place to sit if she wants to.
Thank you. I will sit on it and also help try and make camp.
Nice.
All right.
The picnic spot.
So in the time that you spend setting this up, you notice that in the past, if for those who have made it to Goron Village, you would notice that at this point in the day is really when the town would be at its busiest. There would be people loading up with mining equipment, kind of like gathering together in groups and heading out to work for the day. And you've become fairly proficient at spotting Gorons through their resting camouflage in the village, and there's really not there's no real sense of urgency or anything really going on. Like even the ones that just that wake up, they just kind of sit up and just kind of hang out and chill. They don't even get up or move around. They just sort of sit up, and that is dominantly how they get up for the day. Like they're not very active at all.
My boy, this peace is what all true warriors strive for. Sorry, had to do it.
Love it. So okay, Lito, tell me.
So, Lito's going to go into cooking mode, which he's never done before. So let's try this out.
Spicy.
So, first, Lito is going to grow little grape leaves. Like a finger length long.
Mm-hmm.
No, 5 of them. Then, once they're grown, he's going to take the good berries that he makes and put 2 in each of them. After that, he's going to take the hunks of cheese that he has, yes, from all the way back then, and kind of tear them up and put them in each of them.
Aged
And he's
cheese
going
is good
to,
cheese.
yes, then he's going to try and wrap them together as best as he can, if trying to figure out how he can seal them. I don't know how. He's going to try, and then he's going to take them, and I'm going to assume these little red things are like heated spots,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to put them over the heated spot and let them kind of like cook a little bit.
Okay.
And once
So,
I think they're done, I'm going to bring them over.
so imagining like you're wrapping them up almost to look almost like like the Greek wrapped up fig
Yes.
leaves. Yeah. Okay.
And go.
So okay. So you're able. I understand how you're trying to wrap them up, and they're stuffed with the good berries and the cheese. Um. So you bring them over to everyone and kind of like lay them out very happy about the level of creativity that you have um, done with what you have to do with. So you have this very prideful, happy look on your face as you unveil your meal to the party, and
I
it
call this the Lido Special.
so
Nice.
so
Looks good,
how
Lito.
is everyone looking at this wrapped grape leaf with melted aged cheese and good berries? Like for everyone's palate, how does that click?
Mouth water.
I like berries and I like cheese. What could possibly go wrong?
Right. I don't know what you feel.
Very hungrily.
All right.
Cheese, honestly, probably
Chimkin
forgot
is
the last time she ate.
Chimkin is just standing over Dekun, just watching with her hawk eyes. She would like one too.
Oh, yeah, that's why I made 5.
Thank you. Walk.
Lito, always thinking ahead.
Hell yeah.
All right. So
And I'll watch carefully everybody eat them because I'm trying to enjoy the fact that they're like, it's so delicious and whatnot like that. And then Lito will eat his.
Munch, munch. I imagine Deacon really likes his. Cheese is something of a delicacy for what you'd get in Kakariko. You don't see it often, but it is nice when it happens. Plus, I imagine if the good berry, like, I don't know what kind of berry you would have it taste like, but I imagine something like a fig would go nice with with cheese like this. So Deacon is very happy.
yeah, I'm kind of imagining it like almost like a baked brie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Baked brie with berries. So who is spearheading this get to know you conversation?
You say it's been a while since you've eaten anything, Afian. It's not as much as extra as Lito's cooking, but I could offer you a couple extra rations for later. Where have you been before we found you?
Thank you for the offer, but I think I have some in my bag.
Oh,
I
that makes
just haven't had the chance to sit down.
makes sense. It's been a while. We kind of been going and going. Though I guess it only been a night. You must still be kind of reeling from that. But yeah, if you don't mind me asking, how'd you get into that situation? Like,
I'm honestly not sure. I think I must have been sleepwalking through a nightmare or something.
Gotcha.
The last thing I remember is having a bad nightmare, running away from the Zura's domain, and I must have just woken up on the slopes.
I'm sorry to hear that. Sound so, it sounds scary.
It wasn't too bad.
So,
Thank you.
what's wrong with Zora's domain? You had to run away from it?
I think it must have just been a nightmare that I was having. I thought it was freezing over or something. Something about undead. It was probably just a nightmare though.
Oh. Looks a little like nervous on the side. Hey Lito. Sorry. Should I contact anybody to make sure everything's okay? Would that ease your mind maybe? If there's anyone, I forget who in charge.
You're okay.
Okay, just making sure.
Fiend. What's your last name?
I don't use one.
Me not use one either. Too much to remember. Need DQ. And that all mean need.
Okay, who's the ruling power in Zora's domain? Like that.
Out of character, who would Fiend believe is the ruling person in Zora's domain?
Okay, so right now, what Athena is explaining is Athena is explaining what has happened in her moment of cataclysm, which she doesn't fully grasp, like what has happened. But in Athena's timeline, which what I'm about to say, I am admitting or denying nothing as to what's going on in this timeline, but in Athena's timeline, the king was still alive, healthy, and ruling.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Isn't it still the king currently?
Yes, it is. And he's totally alive and wasn't poisoned, and we didn't have to save him. So wait,
Thumbs up.
is there a queen still alive?
Out of character, look to the GM.
Out of character, no.
I'm sorry, I don't believe so. Also, thank you.
I guess that's a common thing. It sucks. Okay. Have you ever heard of the Zarks or the Xanisters?
No. Those mean nothing to me.
Yay.
Wait, what? No Zarks or Xanisters?
I'm sorry.
Sound like heaven. Viva fish. Viva freshwater fish.
Will then go into his bag real quick and pull out the Zark ring and be like, does this look familiar?
I take it, glance over.
No.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I hand it back. It might be worth me pointing out that I've only really been back in Zora's domain for the past month or so.
Do you know a guy named Marty? Kind of a jerk.
No.
That name doesn't ring any bells, I'm sorry.
If you ever meet him, punch him in the face.
Alright. I take it he's offended you?
Just punch him in the face. So, what are your goals in life? What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to sneak into this group? Are you trying to kill someone? Am I being targeted? Is Deacon being targeted? Is Gully being targeted?
Yes, I tied myself up and threw myself into the Zulfa's cave just to simply track you down and hope by chance you'd stumble across me.
She told the truth. I believe her.
Wow. Well,
That genius.
I'm sorry, no.
your plan worked.
I have fallen for your elaborate ruse. Oh no.
Wait, that wasn't true.
That was sarcastic, I am sorry.
I like her.
She's
So,
fun.
Yes, she
the
is.
big question is, you know what we can do? Like, Gully's really strong, Deacon's really fast and really strong, and I kind of sit in the background and turn into things. What can you do?
I guess I've had some training as a healer. I know a bit of magic.
Okay. Like a singing healer? Or just like a
praying healer.
Yeah, praying healer, like he said.
Not really either. I'm more touch someone to make them better, or say the words and make them better. I don't really pray to anyone.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
I would like to try and look her over and see if she's got like a focus of sorts. Because I know a druid has one. Trying to see if she has like an emblem, a pendant, or something.
I sense it.
I'm I'm trying to think about the. Yeah, okay. Make an investigation check.
Okay. Come on. Why didn't it roll? Let's do it again. There we go. That's an 18.
18. You notice a tear-shaped pendant.
Hmm.
You don't notice any type of like spell like a wand or a staff or anything, but once that tear-shaped pendant catches your eye, you recognize that it could be ornamental or it possibly could be some type of spellcasting focus.
Okay. So you passed my tests, you've eaten my food. What would you like to know about us? Besides the fact that we're heroes, by the way. Heroes of time, awesome, totally, did all kinds of cool stuff. That's us.
Thumbs up.
I didn't see your heroes when you saved my life. That was pretty heroic. Oh yeah, if you're heroes, are you on a quest currently?
Yes.
Quest to help out with those temples, like me told you.
Yeah, that.
Right, sorry.
No,
And
but okay.
to find the other link.
That's the link. The link.
Okay. That definitely seems quite important.
And also to fight this really bad, evil thing that tried to kill us before we came back into this time frame. So if you've seen it, let us know. You too, Gully. If you've seen this evil little thing that's like, ha ha ha, I've come to take you out, hey, I am evil, let us know.
Can you be a little bit more descriptive? What does it look like?
They were a person? They were floating?
I'm gonna use minor image. Let me make sure I still have that. Yeah, I'm gonna use minor illusion to create a floating still image of who I believe Leto was talking about, Reggie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I create a still floating image of Reggie with like angry eyes drawn on him.
Okay.
Also, he attacks old people. We know he's bad.
He possesses old people.
Yeah, that's you.
Makes them crab walk. Very uncomfortable for the elderly.
I love how there's like absolutely no context to this.
It's a Leto thing. He doesn't give context.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that kind of person who must have been at least partially responsible for kidnapping you, because we saw his symbols all over the walls of that cave that you were in. So you have a vested interest in fighting him too, probably.
Also,
presumably.
there might be like a magic ring that's evil. Don't eat it.
Okay.
Trust me. It gives you cool little things, but it gives you nightmares and makes you float, and people start going, "Oh, maybe it's something wrong with him." So just
So question. Um, do you take the time to fully explain the story of Reginald and the ring to Afine? Or is there stuff that you leave out?
I would look to Ikun and go, I think it's time for a bard to do his thing.
Ramble on for a story about 10 minutes, or play a song?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. So, okay. So, and Deacon claps his hands together, and he climbs onto Chimkin's back. Not sure if you got introduced to her. She's a gigantic cuckoo, named Chimkin after a speech impediment that Deacon was going to have when I initially conceptualized the character. And anyway, so he goes on to explain. So, back back some time ago, we were adventurers in the common sense. We met up with each other through a portal created by evil lich called Kyburn. Very evil spellcaster, but in some ways brought his own doom by bringing us together, because that's how we met Lita and Gully. And we had anyway, so we have been since chosen by Hylia. And in being chosen by Hylia, we have taken on a responsibility to try and protect this world from evil forces, mostly Ganon. If we cleanse the temples, we will have more support in the battle against Ganon and can progress the fight against him in a world where Link is not capable of doing that exact thing. So what happened is when we got chosen, we got to go through time a bit and fix little things in a timeline as if we had been given the opportunity to work together to kind of shape things as we would have shaped them had we been there at that time. And in doing so, things are sometimes different than how we remember them, and sometimes so in many ways we have a very new adventure here. But also what happened is we meet evil people along the way. There was this evil ring that houses spirit of bestial Ganon, who is kind of like Ganon, aspect of him, but more animal, more animal. Not like Leto animal, kind of like Leto animal. Turns into a big scary beast thing. But instead of big, strong, smart, scary, it's more carnally evil than that. So essentially, we meet up with him, and we meet up with him as part of trying to. Oh right, Ring. So he's in Ring, And in my timeline, I gave Ring to the guy Big Tony. Leto in his timeline avoided that. And in doing so, Ganon kind of got to manifest in my timeline. Whereas he didn't in Leto's, because he didn't have anyone available to corrupt around him. To add to this, it was in a tussle versus a figure that we had known as Reginald, who was once a shopkeeper and is now kind of our arch nemesis. He betrayed us at the last minute, proving to us that he was a force of evil beyond anything that we had known. Kind of the anti-chosen of Hylia, and that he's been working against us ever since then. That's why we have his symbol. Leto found it in his house. And so yeah, so we have his symbol, and that's how we're learning to track him. But of course, it's easier said than done, as when we tried to fight against him, he seemed to laugh off our attacks, and that was our moment of Cataclysm. So yeah, big, scary, evil forces kind of abound. And right now, going through temples is only way that we know how to fight them, because it's the only trial that we know we able to go through right now and come out other end of. So I hope I not leave anything out. If you have any questions, me will answer them. Sorry, was that too much?
Tiffany, you okay?
Thank you. That was very insightful.
Also, just so that way you know, what was in Reggie probably wasn't actually Reggie, so it's something else that we don't actually know about, but we know it looked like Reggie at least at that point in time. Also, we are like in good with like all royalty around everywhere. Or domain, we know Link here, we know Zelda, we're friends with Impa.
Rito still don't like us though.
Kind of
We
helped him a
don't
lot.
like anyone.
Yeah,
That's true. They're not grateful though.
Rudo, we kind
Sorry,
of killed
just teasing,
their
sorry.
monarchs, so we don't know if they like us or not. We'll find out.
Yeah. Oh, right. Gerudo were kind of overtaken by evil Gerudo. That not like thing that we made up. That actual thing. She was kind of evil lich also. She exploded recently.
So the Gerudo have been taken over by evil Gerudo?
Yeah, that happened a long time ago. Not sure if we managed to fix that in the timeline.
Okay. Well,
that was the original core part of the campaign. Like that was part of the unveiling. Was that Byrova and the Gerudo that followed her were actually evil, and that they had done bad things to the good Gerudo.
They were the good Gerudo were put into the armor sets as like punishment for
the Iron Knuckles.
Yeah.
So did you guys resolve that, or is it just kind of hanging out there as a mystery?
We killed Byrova and then then Leto put her in the bag of holding, and then we got taken out, and yeah, she's not in there
anymore.
Oh, she's not in the bag anymore.
Nope.
No.
What happened to her?
She turned into some kind of dusty stuff.
You saw the dust?
Yeah.
Is that actually her dust, or did she just use a spell to make it look like that was her?
She was dead for quite a while, so if she used a spell, she was somehow dead and in pieces using the spell.
Do you think time travel dusted her?
We have no idea, the truth be told. Not sure.
So for all intents and purposes, bad person dead.
Or
yes.
Honestly, if we learned anything from Kyburn,
okay,
bad person's still a large. Me will
I don't know.
never.
I'm pretty sure Kyburn's dead. Kind of melted.
I hope he.
Okay.
Sorry.
So what's next, people? What do you want to do now?
I want to go get a mask.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go get you a
And
mask.
we'll go visit Link, and we'll go say hello to Juliet, who, yeah, I know she's probably the one who's, supposed to play the operator and everything, but, what if she isn't?
Okay.
Maybe she's not
Right.
musically inclined.
Oh, neither was other person. Sorry.
That is true.
Maybe it's actually Effany. Are you actually a Gerudo in disguise? Ooh, are you a Goron in disguise?
If I am, it's very well hidden, even from me.
I'll just walk away tapping my...
I'm just kidding. I'm not inside. I'm just kidding.
I'm just going to walk away tapping my lips going, could it happen?
So that was a hell of an info dump.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
that kind of me thing that me do is ramble on for 10 minutes at a time.
That is that is I believe that's exactly what Lito meant when he said, "Deacon, do your thing."
Yes.
Well, I was hoping for music too, but it's okay.
Yeah, sorry. Me kind of not singing song this time got me too sick, or me would have come up with something.
No worries. So, get a mask, talk to Link, try and get in the temple. Do you want to see about finding your friend, June?
After the temple.
Okay.
I can't think about that right now.
Oh.
Like there was just a brief second of like Deacon.exe has stopped working.
Lito, Deacon, do you know who I could potentially talk to about my dream that I had? About Beatrice? Because, I thought maybe she was gone, but I heard her calling out to me.
I think. Let me think of something. Give me. Let's see. Let me see what I can do.
If you let me take another really long sleep, I could probably try and see if I can find her. If she's still here somewhere.
Okay. Well, tonight then, or tomorrow?
Yeah.
You can do that, Lito?
Probably tomorrow.
Okay, well, tomorrow. We want to start, trying to find a mask now. Today.
Okay.
If you hear her calling out to you, let me know, okay?
Okay. Well, it was a dream, but yeah, okay.
I know. It might make sense someday if I can get it to work.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Just checking. Finny, do you hear voices too?
Not currently.
Okay. I walk away.
I take it I should be careful of hearing voices if I continue with you three?
The answer is yes.
It's no.
So there's a lot going on with masks. Refresh me about the mask situation.
I want to find a Goron-made Goron mask.
Okay.
Check to see if there are any other masks there.
I just wanted to make sure I did. Whenever we approach something that has a very broad scope, I'd like to double check just to make sure I don't unveil anything that prematurely. Especially like everything that's going on with the Happy Mask Salesman and kind of like what ripples up from that. I'm like, I don't want to accidentally say something. So looking for a Goron mask. Oh. I have a thought. Okay. So, which thing would you like to tackle first?
I guess the simple part is just finding the normal Goron mask.
Okay. So, you saw a couple of shops when you were walking around looking for somewhere to eat. Quite possibly the only thing that I believe would resonate that would be worth checking out would be the antique shop, the high end general goods store.
Okay.
All right. So you head over in that direction. You come across a rather well kept looking tent. It out of all of the tents in this village, it is you note that it probably has the least sun worn and damaged top to it, which indicates that it's probably like the newest place in the village. You walk in and you see a mid to late teenage Goron male tending to the shop.
Okay.
So you walk in and he welcomes you. Welcome, out-of-towners. It's good to see some fresh faces in here. Is there anything perhaps I can help you with?
Yes.
All right.
And I give him the look, like he should know what I'm looking for.
All right. His face starts to kind of shift a little bit of alarm, a little bit of confusion and concern.
Sorry, what were the markings on this building? Did it label them as anything?
It's kind of it's a run of the mill tent, like most of the structures aside from the chief's hut in the village, but the top of the tent is probably the least sun damaged out of all the tents you've seen in the time.
Gotcha. Sorry, I just wasn't sure.
Okay.
I chime in. What is it you do here? Very colorful.
Oh well, I have a knack for interesting curiosities. You know, I try to keep my inventory interesting and just really help set it apart from shops in the rest of the kingdom.
Nice. Well, just so happens we have a very curious case of commission we're looking for.
Ah, well, what might that curious case of commission be?
I gesture to Leto, who is giving the look as if he should know what we're about to ask him.
And I start going, masks.
Masks. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, like Goron masks, a thing.
You knew what I was talking about. Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have a lot in terms of like costumes. I mean, if I mean, I could probably put you in. I could kind of steer you in the way of a decent leather worker that I know who might be able to help you in that respect. But yeah, kind of costumes definitely not my thing.
What about just other masks?
Um,
Or anything mask-like?
yeah, like a bag.
No.
You just maybe and he kind of like reaches over and into like this area of just like soot, and he like runs his hands across it and just kind of like starts to kind of like make the gesture to be like mask, yeah.
That's
But a mask, a soot mask.
Good for your
so
skin.
you just get dirty.
Because well, I mean, uh, I think maybe you need to be a little more
How about
specific.
instead?
Uh-huh.
I was gonna minor illusion of Goron's face over Leto's face, and I point at it like I just full cranial mask, like so that it looks like there's just a Goron's head instead of Leto's head. And it has a smiley face painted on it. Like it looks like it has like it looks like a normal face, but there's just like also a smiley face painted over the nose.
All right. So he goes, yeah. I mean, you know, excuse. I don't. If I say if the word costume is insulting, I apologize. I don't mean to diminish the quality of what you're looking for. I believe we're talking about the same thing. But I just think that your best bet is maybe to find like a nice leather worker. Who can maybe create that for you. I don't I don't see that there is another alternative that is shy of something incredibly violent and you know.
Well, I had assumed it would be made out of clay or something, but I guess leather makes.
Clay,
Do you know anyone we could find like
that? Leather worker. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's. I used to be in communication with this leather worker in Zora's domain. It's been a minute, but you know, if you tell him that if you can find him and you tell him that you know I sent you, he'll be sure to give you a good price.
Oh, that cool. He's Goron, right? It's very important that this made by Goron because we all know Goron makes the best
stuff. No, he is Zoran. If I mean, I guess I could give it a shot if you could find me some leather. You know, maybe like some kind of type of like tanned hide or something. I mean, I'm sure I could throw together something rough. You know, I mean, it would be good practice for me. And in fact, if you can supply the materials for it, I would consider it a work of I would consider the payment to be experience.
I give him a thumbs up and say, that sounds perfect, at least to me. And I look over at Leto. Go, what you think, Chief?
Who would we be telling in Zora's domain?
Who
are you that they would know?
Oh, and he kind of sticks out his hand. He goes, Romeo, pleasure to meet you.
Deacon.exe has stopped working. I knew I recognized the accent, but like, yeah. Like,
the little like sweat tear popping up on the head.
Yeah, really. Well, it's more like he just like freezes in place.
Yeah, he shows absolutely no. He was a child when you saw him. He has absolutely no recollection of any of you.
Okay. So if you find leather, you'll work for experience. Got it.
Yeah. I mean, leatherworking is not something that I have a lot of opportunity to work with, and if I can further my own personal skill, I think that would be mutually beneficial.
Okay. Next.
What is it that you do?
Me? Oh
Like
well,
his demeanor just instantly changes.
yeah. And Romeo's still not picking up on the cues. He's like, well, I run this shop, and sometimes I run across interesting curiosities, which I like to sell and display. And if if I can, if there's something that I can make, I definitely like to do that. Um, I'm a little bit more used to working with materials that are metal rather than leather, but I mean, there's only one way to get better, right? You just gotta dive in and do it.
Deacon's like, the first thought is just like, oh my god, he just sounds so happy. Like that's just kind of what's like racing through his mind at this juncture.
Yeah.
And you can see like Deacon like kind of looks like he's starting to cry a little bit. He there is like there's a part of him that's like he looks like he's really concentrating on something. And to explain that just mechanically, I'm really glad that Gully asked the question about contacting his because of the that's it. Sorry, I apologize, Beatrice. Because otherwise Deacon would.
It's the P like Paul.
Gotcha, Beatrice. Sorry, thank you. And otherwise, at this point, he would just be like repressing the urge to do that modify memory thing, like to at least remind him of the last time that we met, But like, it's just like, you just see him muttering that he's like, gotta save something, gotta save that for later. I don't know if it's like audible even, but anyway, all right, but yeah, and then he kind of chokes out like, so how's your dad been? We met him once.
And he kind of like leans over a bit and kind of his demeanor just slightly changes, not really in any particular way or direction, just he's just addressing the conversation differently now that he feels that there's a familial contact on the matter. And she goes, oh, you met Pops. How do you guys know each other?
The Dongo's cavern cleaned it out.
He goes, oh, wait a minute. That was you? That was you? That was you guys?
Deacon nods. He's kind of like not doing well for his power of speech at this point, so he just kind of like wipes his nose and then like points at Gully's shield.
Oh shit! I grew up on that story. I mean, I didn't think it was even real. I thought he was just embellishing, like, I mean, Gordons love to tell their kids, bedtime stories and fables and things like that. So I just kind of took it with a grain of salt. I mean, I didn't think you guys were real.
In the flesh.
Ah, man.
Ah,
That's like.
just little invisible daggers, just.
Exactly. Like, that just hurts a little bit more. Deku nods slowly, and he's like, yeah, sometimes it seems that way. Sometimes I wonder if we're real too. And he, like, chokes out, like, the fakest of laughs. And he, he's just like, so, I'm glad that he's doing okay. Like, I think, sorry, he, like, can't choke out the name, and he's like, feeling kinda ill, gotta go, bye. And he just, like, runs out of the tent.
Confused. He's like, feel better. And before anybody has another moment to move, he kind of turns to Leto and he goes, hey, can I just ask you a real quick question?
Sure.
Did my dad really ride a Dodongo during that battle?
Look side. Side. Yes.
Give me a deception check.
Well, I'm great at those.
Good enough.
Hey, a 14.
Good enough. So he's like, that you know what? I didn't. I always question that part of the story, but rode a Dodongo. Man, that must have been something. Whew. Well,
So, I have more to shop for, but I need to go check on my friend. So I'll be right back.
okay. I'm not going anywhere.
Also, feel free to talk to, Gully and Anthony, and if you by chance have a mirror that's worth like 1,000 rupees, just let me know. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. So he turns to Gully and Afid as Leto exits, and he's like, so, like, what's up?
Good question.
He just, like, he grabs the nearest thing to him, which is just, like a singular gauntlet, and he just starts, like, polishing it like he's like a bartender with a glass, just so he has, like, something to do with his hands. He's like, yeah, so
That's a pretty nice gauntlet there.
thanks. This is one of the things I've made myself. I've just kind of been working at learning how to do things like that since I was a kid, and he says even still he's maybe 15. But yeah, I've been working at this since I was a kid, and
Yeah.
I'm getting better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not bad there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice piece. And he kind of like puts it on his hand now, and he's like going like this with it. He goes, yeah, I think it gets the job done, but I mean, I really haven't. I mean, I guess it gets the job done. I really haven't spent a whole lot of time outside the village, but I mean, nowadays most people don't really leave, for extended periods of time. So yeah. So nice,
Fair enough.
nice weather, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Any plans to venture out and leave, or are you just gonna stay here your whole life?
I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm a little bit sweet on this girl, and I'm trying to get her. Nah, it's stupid. It's I don't know, maybe if things happen, we'll see where life takes us. I
I
mean,
heard someone say flowers. Girls love flowers, right?
flowers.
Ifine, what do you think?
Flowers are, yeah, sure, lots of
I mean,
girls
I
do like
guess it would
flowers.
be
I mean,
best to ask a lady, what they like.
So he turns to a fiend and he's like, "Well, I mean, flowers are nice, but are they really like?" And he like leans in really close. He's like, "Are they really like princess nice? I know they're like average girl kind of nice, but you know, I need something like good, like something that'll really get the attention of like hypothetically a princess."
Princess, you aim pretty high there, guy.
Well, I mean, she's really nice and sweet, and you know,
Okay.
aw,
chief's daughter, so that doesn't hurt.
ah, maybe I'd suggest your time showing an interest, learning what she likes, then you'd be better suited to give her what she likes.
Oh, like do some spying?
No, don't be
More,
creepy.
more like speaking to her and spending time with her.
Oh, never really spent time like that before. So, like, are flowers a good place to start? Or maybe like, and then he kind of like grabs one. He grabs a red ocarina, and he's like, maybe like play a song. I could play a song. Are songs nice?
Well, just whatever you do, just make sure it's natural. Don't overdo it or force it. You don't want to, you don't want to just show up and start playing an ocarina and she might think you're weird. Talking is very nice. Why don't you start there? Hey, hello, how are you? My name is so and so.
And he reaches like underneath this table, this like countertop, and he brings out like this, which seems to be maybe like 100 to 120-page tome, and he's like, "So is this poem a bit much?"
That whole thing is a single poem.
Well, I mean, it's not like
Alright.
one poem. It's a lot of poems. Like one, there's one about her eyes, and one about the way she smells.
Okay. Like I said, you're overthinking it. Keep it simple. Just try talking to her first.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't lead with the poems.
Don't lead with the poems. So don't lead with the poems. Don't lead with the songs. And I'll start off with talking and maybe some flowers. I, I
Yeah, keep it simple.
but it almost sounds like too simple. Like that's kind of like you tell me not to overthink, but it's like all I think about. And like every time I try to talk to her, like whenever I say her and I try to talk to her, I end up saying the wrong thing. Like I say silly things, and I think she thinks I'm not that bright.
Okay. Why don't you try sending her one of your poems?
He holds out um the tome. He's like, "You want to pick one?"
Ifine, yeah, I'll leave this to you. And he kind of tiptoes away.
So, Athena, as you open up the tome and you start looking at it, they're really bad. Like
Oh.
like the
Wait,
rhyming
got a
scheme is
question.
off. Yeah.
Is it written in Goron though?
Oh, that's a good point.
If
Yes.
it's written in Goron, we would have no idea.
You're absolutely right. It would be written in Goron. So
Crap. Then I would have to be able to read it.
so
Nike.
Finn, you open it and it is gibberish to you. It is markings and yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. So as you hand it back to Gully, the poems are just atrocious. Like the rhyming scheme is off. The words that are supposed to rhyme don't at all. And it's just kind of there's a lot of doodles on a lot of the pages. A lot of like hearts that say like RNJ with like the arrow through it, things like, and you,
Do
you're
I
getting the impression that this
do
is
I see like a trash can or anything around?
there is an adjacent little like burning fire pit close to the shed. They
Okay. All right, little buddy. I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but this is where this deserves to be, and I drop it over in the fire. Okay. Scratch that. I don't want you to even don't attempt that. That would be very bad. Okay. Let's start with the flowers and high. Think you can handle that?
I mean, I can do high. I
Again,
can say
no
high.
offense, but it's burning. That's where that needs to be. Yeah, that's good. So,
It's just a black cloud is just coming up from the smoldering book. He's like, okay, all right. So
your
And
heart's in the
somehow
right
has pink
place, but
lines.
your heart and creativity they're not matching up. It's all right though. That's not your niche. You know what? You are actually very good at making stuff. This gauntlet, this is some good craftsmanship. Why don't you start there? Why maybe you make her a set of gauntlets and put some type of ornate symbol or etching or something like that on it to really express your craftsmanship. Start there. It'll
like
give you a good way to break the ice.
a heart.
I mean, you can go with the heart, but I mean, like what's your symbol for your work when you sign your work? What do you put on it?
You mean like what is my symbol?
Yeah, what's your symbol?
And he like reaches down and he grabs this massive Goron hammer and he holds it like up front like blocking like the head of the hammer is like blocking his face and he goes this and it's like the first like confident prideful thing that he's pretty much said this entire time. He goes,
There.
this
That's
is
what
my
you
father's
go with.
hammer and he gave it to me and now I use it to make. And he's like, well, like this gauntlet.
That's where you need to start from, and that's where you need to go. Make her something.
I don't know why, but I never thought of that.
But again, you know what? We should always defer to the experts in this area. Ifine, what are your thoughts?
Yes.
My thoughts is that I've never had a love life, so I really am not an expert.
See, maybe don't go by what she said. Yes, make her something. Put all your heart and soul into making this, so that way, when you actually are able to present it to her, you have a starting place, and it's not something you're unfamiliar with. It's you, it's your heart that you're able to convey to her through this craftsmanship and through your words about it, and why you think that she's so worthy of it.
So, like, okay, so like if I'm gonna make something like gauntlets or a helmet or maybe like a a chess piece, should I maybe like engrave it on the inside, like maybe like a letter or a poem or something like that?
No poems. Nope, nope, no poems.
No, I
No, 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 no. No poems.
just
If you
concentrate on doing the best work you can,
Okay.
and she should recognize your skill and craftsmanship.
Okay. I will try to keep it simple. It's like my mind just goes like I think of
you can
something and it
you
just
can
and I need to reel it in, is what you're saying.
you can you can let your mind go, but if you're talking about letting it go as far as poetry or inscriptions, don't you ever even try that. Just no.
Okay. I will take your advice and thank you. But you know what? Can I ask maybe just one like hypothetical favor? Because
Let's hear it.
um assuming that you're looking for leather, so I can make that
Mhm.
mask for your friend.
Yeah.
Um, if you decide to go up to Dongo Cavern to look for the leather, then maybe can I kind of tag along because like this keeping it simple thing sounds really cool. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna keep it simple. But if maybe I can have maybe an act of heroism that maybe I could be known for a little bit, I think maybe that might help a little bit too.
Okay. That is a very tall ask. It's dangerous out there.
Yeah, I'll bring my hammer and I won't be any trouble. I'll just, you know, I just like I grew up on the story of my father and and riding the Dodongo, and I just like I want that to I want to have my own story like that too.
I know you want to
Aw.
have your own story, but I would just, I would never be able to forgive myself if something bad happened to you.
All right, well, just think about it.
I'll think about it.
Okay, thank
You're welcome.
you. Okay, so while this is going on, what's going on with Deacon and Leto?
Oh, whoops, sorry, I was muted. Deekun has basically just kind of like run off to the nearest rock. And yeah, like he's just kind of like full on in tears at this point. He left before like he really even got to see what Romeo was like again, so he has some like misconceptions about the situation.
Mhm.
So like by the time Leto like chases after him, Leto just tears like Deekun kind of like having some clearly mixed feelings, but you see him like would see him kind of confusedly muttering like he's so much happier and then like without me, you know. I and and then he's just kind of like rambling on a little bit, like and I'm happy for him, but I missed him so much, and just not think that way. Then me see him again. Just I wanted him doing okay. see, I was, you know, and you know, all like sniffly and just like again, kind of muttering to himself by the time like Leto comes out.
All right.
You know,
So
there's a saying that I've heard about that no matter how far you go, friends will always remember you.
hmm, I Deacon nods slowly. And he's like, I I wish for true. That's true. I just we remember so much, you know. We it just spent what felt like years, you know, and now he's like doesn't remember, but
Okay?
but I still have to like you see his like he looks like even he's trying to you know kind of comprehend it at the same time um and he's like I still remember it but he doesn't even remember what he did before it you know he just I missed him and I knew this we knew this was going to come but still wasn't prepared um I and you know he just kind of like sniffles and he's like I wanted him to be happy but I just think I and you know he's kind of like wiping his eyes and he's like I wish I knew what to say to him but I don't know how to start from the beginning.
About, hi, I'm Deacon.
uh, um but I like that they're having like mirrored problems right now. um um but like I don't know. I just I don't. Um, he shakes his head a little bit. He's just like, I don't know if who he is now will be able to get along with who I am now. I didn't get to ask. I didn't get to, and now he probably thinks I'm like a nut job and not talking about Korok. Deacon just kind of like he seems to have calmed down a bit, but he still has like the anime nervous sweat drop. Oh, I wish there was something I could do to just make things right with him again. I want to be even with the newer, happier him. You know, I'm glad he didn't have to go through what he did when I first knew him, and that should be the only thing that I care about. But look, wasn't. Sorry, is my mic coming through clear?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry, I wasn't bubbles. Anyway, and you know, I wanted to be happy, and I was, but I didn't really think about everything that's kind of past. We got chosen by Hylia, like, and all the things that we've kind of lost along the way. I've been kind of putting that to the wayside. It's but I think I guess you're right, Lito. I guess we just have to try again. Maybe someday something will leak through time, you know. And he kind of sniffles and like rubs his nose. How are you holding up, Lito? Did you get your mask?
Nope, not yet. Wanted to check on you. I can go in and just, beat him up, and then, he can turn back in kind of to Romeo that you knew.
Oh man. I think I think we'll spare him. Thanks, Leto.
Eh, just remember, I could probably kill him.
I appreciate it. Sadly, I don't think that resurrection will work like regenerate, but for memories. Though maybe we test that.
Oh, there's also the fact of, what made you friends before.
Well, I took him to the Dongo's cavern, and we got to.
There you go. Kidnap him and take him to Dagongo's cabin.
I guess that works. I would like to spend some time with the new him, to be honest.
Also, it's probably safer now.
That's true. Maybe we don't have to worry about him taking the hit. It's funny, he laughs. He basically he kind of carried us through that. He was so much stronger at the time. Couldn't let him know that because he could definitely kick my ass butt at the time. But I think I got that over.
Also, sometimes friendships start when, you save somebody's life, or they become like, oh, you're so amazing, I need to be friends with you. This is the chance to be like that. We're heroes, remember? This is the chance to be heroes and to actually use the idolizing factor of it to actually get something we want.
I guess you, Leto. He kind of like rubs the back of his head and he smiles at you. That makes sense. You just got to remember that we're heroes, that we earned this.
And then with that, Leto's literally going to reach down, palm Deekun by the head, and just chuck him into the air.
Whee!
When you come down, you have to have a new point of view.
I pedal glide so that I don't have to come down as fast.
Take your time. Hey, go along. We got things to do.
I land on his shoulders and go, good point. We have too much to do for me to wallow in this. Thanks, Leto.
Welcome. This is what heroes do.
Here.
You should probably go back inside, because, I don't know, Gully's not much of a talker. He's more of a fighter. He might have already started a fight with him. And a fiend might just be like, oh no, don't kill him. And we'll be like, well, sorry, he's dead. And then we'll have to bring him back. And then everybody will be like,
I know how that feels.
And we'll have to, run away because Gully will be like, oh no, you're the bad guy. And then we'll be like, no, Gully was doing it for the good reason. And then we were like, no, that would be bad. And then we'll make it.
You're not ready for my brain to hurt that much.
It's okay. Let's go back inside.
I point dramatically ahead of Leto as I ride his shoulders.
To the cave. Tent. Yes, tent.
Yeah, that.
Let's go back inside.
Okay. I kind of like prestidigitate the puffy face away, just clean myself up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I just go, hi, sorry about that. How's it going?
He's so funny.
And I look at the burning book. I go, ooh, so you have trouble reading too, huh? How you guys doing in here? How you guys doing in here?
Yeah, we're good. Are you good?
Yeah, better. Sorry.
Ah, perfect. Good. Okay. So, yeah.
So, Yeah. I um. I'll go up to Romeo. And I just kind of like say sorry, forgot to introduce myself, by the way. Nitikun. It
Oh, and he holds out his hand the same as he did before, and he's like, Romeo, pleasure to meet you.
I shake it and let's see. I take out two things from my backpack, which are like the two Lionel horns I got from the Lionel on our way down the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And I put them above my head, like, pretending to like, have Lionel horns. And I go, these seem pretty curious. Do you guys still use these to make those steel bars?
He looks and goes, huh. I mean, yeah. We it's not something we come across too often, but yeah, I have that recipe, yeah.
Well, I was wondering, I don't know the forger in this town too well. Do you think you could point me in that direction? I was hoping to get some Goron steel made out of these, though I don't have iron, so I'd have to buy that too, if that's okay. If you have it.
He goes, well, I mean, I specifically don't have any, but I mean, if you look, like you said, you're looking for Pops, and I'm sure he's got some. I can take you over there.
That'd be great. Thanks.
Yeah. And so he kind of like just recklessly abandons his shop. Like has absolutely no like, and not to say like he's doing it carelessly. You get the impression that just like that's just how it is in the village. Like
Nice.
theft is not a concern. Thank you, Fuzzy.
How? Oh man, how things have changed.
Yeah. So he kind of like, it takes but a minute just to find him. I mean, you can see the billowing smoke from the forge as he gets closer, and as you get close, as you get closer and closer to the forge, you can start to hear like the pounding of the steel, and there is a fair amount of heat coming from the general area. And as eventually the forge comes into view, and you can see Romeo's father, which you would recognize from the last time that you saw him. He has aged a little bit since that day, but he is still recognizable as the same person. And Romeo calls out, and he's like, "Hey, Pops! Look who I found!" And he turns around, and he sees Leto and Deacon, and he's like, "Well, I'll be damned." He goes, "I didn't think I'd ever seen you guys again." And he's like, "Yeah, Popsy, I was asking Leto over here, and he told me, he goes, you really rode that Dodongo." And he's like, I told you, I rode that thing like it belonged to me." And he's like, yeah. And now it's like this is the first time like Romeo's really gotten like wide-eyed and like overly enthusiastic, like.
DQ nods and chimes in. You should have seen him. He was ready to lead the entire charge. It was kind of amazing. Just your Pops was there, heading the entire pack as they rushed in to crush those Dodongos.
Yeah, he's a regular hometown hero, and his father's like is noticing that this is a very stark difference from how he would like listen to the stories. Like he would always listen to it like a little bit kind of like apprehended, like, okay, yeah, Pop, whatever. but like this is the first time like like his father's realizing this is the first time he's really buying into the story, which makes him buy into it even more, and kind of like he's wording it in a way to kind of like narrate to you guys because he knows the whole story's fake, obviously. So so he's like telling his son aspects of the story, but in reality he's like saying it to you guys to keep the story like the same.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, his father's like, yeah, and it's good to see you guys again, and I see that you're traveling with a strong group. Just you're only getting bigger and better. I mean, where have you guys just seem to? I mean, don't mind me, but you guys just seem to have like popped out of thin air. I mean, we haven't heard anything about you guys for years.
Well, yeah, we've been very busy. Official business and all that. Just certain things we get. Yeah, hero stuff. After we helped you guys out with that King Dodongo gully's wearing, we had to just like go on do other heroic things in other heroic towns.
And he kind of like goes up to Gully and he kind of like starts to look at the shield, and he like starts to put his hand out to like touch it, and he goes, "I'm sorry, may I?"
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
And he kind of like touches it and kind of like gives it a shake, and he goes, "That's the King Dodongo head you took. I would know those spikes anywhere."
I bet.
Wow.
Oh man.
God, who made that? That is exceptional craftsmanship.
Well, it was made by my buddy Ken in Hyrule Castletown. He's got craftsmanship that'll even rival the Gorons.
Speaking of, just a heads up. You know what would be a really good thing? Since Goron steel is really strong, and you can get iron from other places, and you really like how the shield was made, maybe, I'm just saying as, a businessman myself, maybe you could create a joint practice between Hyrule Castle and here, thereby making more friends, and thereby linking, Ikun, who is the shop owner, to your business, and thereby getting more customers.
Well, I mean, full disclosure, I do kind of keep an eye on the Adventurers Guild, and periodically, sometimes people will request items such as gore and steel, and when that happens, I'm happy to oblige. But it sounds like you're talking about something a little bit more steady.
Yeah. It's an idea.
It's a really good idea. I like you said, me kind of joint partner with Ken in Hyrule Castletown. We run armory shop in again Hyrule Castletown. He's made armor that most of us are wearing, including I kind of like reveal my Hylian like half plate for example. And I tap on it and it's like flexible, like the mithril's light enough that it like kind of bends as I tap on it. And I'm like, and honestly, having chance to let us work with more materials would be really handy. Could probably broker a deal if you ever want to get into talks about something like a route of contacts or anything. They have things that could help you,
and I really believe that Romeo here would be an excellent person that we'd have to work very close with, especially Dinkud. Maybe they could become friends in the long way. But, the two of them could then bond and start the route, coming back and forth, and he could be like a salesman, and they could be like, Dinkud, you're my friend, here's some information for you, and Dinkud would be like, yes, you are my friend too, and then we could be friends, and then, he can do things, and then you guys can be partners, and then there you go.
Deacon blushes because he picks up on what you're doing and he appreciates it. And he goes, "Yeah, it sounds like a really good idea. I'll tell you what, and I take out like the 2 Lionel horns that I was playing with earlier, and I offer them over to Romeo's dad, and I
Mhm.
go, I mean, you sure you have no trouble getting these on your own, but here, maybe take these as a gift from us to maybe start a good business or relationship, and yeah, just make of these what you will.
As well,
I know it's not too much, but I feel like, even if it's just a token of my appreciation for seeing you again, here's a little thing you guys can work with. I hear I hear we had asked your boy Romeo to do some work for us, so maybe you could if you guys work the forge, maybe he could make something fancy out of those.
that definitely. I mean, a lot of that sounds really really great. Honestly, I mean, not only have you come seemingly out of thin air after all these years, but you come uh, with great purpose. So, yeah, you know what? I mean, honestly, like to be quite blunt with you, the hardest part of this has been the ability to find Lionel horns to make the steel. So
Mm-hmm.
if this is something that you are interested in as like a high value long term thing, then you know, and he kind of like lets out this um, kind of like half hearted fake sigh, and he's like, I mean, I'm really. I mean, these old bones ain't what they used to be. Um, I think my days of the dongo riding are quite possibly behind me. But if by chance you do come across more Lionel horns, and we can make this a high volume thing, I think that we could have something good here.
I give him the thumbs up and say, I look at my party and go, do you mind if I take the horns off the Lionels we find? And for this kind of project?
Oh, no, it's completely unacceptable. No.
Sure.
Just kidding. No, I don't mind at all.
Thanks, guys. But yeah, so yeah, I honestly, a good chance for me to flex my skills in carving up these things too. So maybe next time I can get some vinyl leather or something for you to make that.
Did
That
you
might
say?
be
Did you
weird.
say to make the mask?
Yeah, I don't know if I was there for that, but I know
Yeah,
Lito wanted the mask.
and he does get a little bit perplexed at the mention of the mask, but Romeo kind of like interjects, and he's like, "Don't, I got it, pops. Don't worry about the mask."
um,
And yeah, so he's like, huh. Well, this we're only in the wee hours of the day, and we are already having quite the fruitful day. This has been excellent news. I mean, it's definitely good to see you.
likewise.
I mean, I can definitely knock out a couple of bars of steel for this, um, and we'll go from there. Absolutely.
Sounds good. Thanks. This Holder got his pebbles, Dad. I don't believe we ever got this guy's name. And
I don't think I ever told you his name.
I
let me
don't think he
let me
did.
take a quick look to see if I have a name for him. I know Boulder got.
So while you're doing that,
Yes.
Lito's going to turn around and go to Afine. So, you need like armor or something? Just, like, and hook you up.
Thank you, but I'm think I'm alright without it for the moment.
Just wondering, maybe you need a shield or something, or like a new weapon, or maybe you want like plate armor like Gully.
Thank you, but my skills are pretty good. I'll
Just
definitely
asking.
check it though. Thank you.
So, I'm like, honestly, I'm running in my head. I'm running through like all the names in Romeo and Juliet right now.
Gotcha.
I'm like, how can I turn these into rock puns?
Mercutio. Marshcutio. Tib. I don't know.
Tig Cobalt.
Wait, what was that? Put that. Say that again.
Tib Cobalt.
To Cobalt. I like that. Yes. I was actually thinking of something from Tybalt because I like Tybalt. To Cobalt. Yes. That is his name now. To Cobalt.
Excellent. I don't think I know that, but I like that. Like, as in, I don't think he told us his name. So.
No, he never relayed the name.
I stare at him oddly for a couple seconds, trying to remember what his name was, and realizing that I have no idea. And then I ask as subtly as possible, and what name do you want me to give to my Ken when I go back between them? And I point between like Romeo and his dad to hopefully get Romeo's dad to tell me his name again.
And you know what? I'm gonna do a straight D20 insight check on that.
Okay.
Ooh.
Damn. If only I had cutting words.
And he's like, well, and he recognizes like, what you're doing, but in an attempt to try to like save face because he doesn't want to like introduce any sourness into the conversation. And he's like, well, I know most of my friends call me Tick, and you can tell them that Tick sent you, but Tick Cobalt is my full name.
I give him a thumbs up and nods. Duly noted. I'll make sure it's handled with the proper respect. Thank you, Sir Cobalt.
Again, Tick is fine.
Thanks, Tick. Just one thing. I was planning on heading to the Dongo's Cavern later today. Did you guys need anything else? Are there? Oh, actually, while me asking, are there Lionels around here? Like, are they making nuisance anywhere or anything like that? Just so that me know in advance.
Well, I mean, periodically we will have a kind of straggler run up and down the the pathways, but more commonly they're just simply found in Hyrule Castle Field.
Gotcha. Good to know.
There have been rumors of them starting to travel in packs, which is a bit alarming, but by no means should you risk yourselves. I mean, I know from personal experience how competent we are in disposing of dangerous creatures, but still, like, don't kind of put yourself in any type of harm's way for this.
That's a good point. That's appreciated. Let me keep that in mind. But yeah, so once we figure out the leather situation, we were gonna head to Dodongo's Cavern. So did you guys need anything else?
Yes.
What do you need?
Information.
Gotcha.
Information and some other things. If you're up for it, Tick and Remio, because the two of you probably know what I'm going to be looking for, or at least an idea of it, if that's cool.
Like, well,
Yeah.
what can I help you with?
It's been a while since we've been here. How is the population of the Dungos? Something that we have to really be worried about, or is it something that
Well, quite honestly, it hasn't been a problem.
Okay.
Quite honestly, after the epic battle that we took part in, the Chief Link has decided that there really is no need to kind of check in on the cavern. So it has over the years kind of become a fleeting memory. We don't believe that there's anything dangerous in there. So we've just kind of, we've taken it easy since then. We have told our stories and had our drink and just kind of settled into to a job well done.
That's cool.
Yes.
Gotcha. So we need to go check before they come and kill you. Got it. Okay. Next question. Is there anything that you can supply us with? Because we're gonna probably go inside again, and I don't know stuff that we might need for. And I look at Deacon like a temple. I've never been inside, so I don't know if we need special gloves because it's really hot, or fans or something like that, or nets or something.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I know that one thing that was handy was just having a way to clear through the caves. So the bombs were handy. And potentially the Goron Warhammers were good for mining, as I recall. Not sure if that's still a thing. Sorry.
So there we go.
So
what can you help us with?
Yeah, is there any chance we could maybe borrow something off you for a bit? Or?
No. We're going to use the favor that, you promised us at the end because we helped so well. And it was like, we're buddy. We'll do a favor for you. You guys will do a favor for us in the future. And, now is the time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a Warhammer or two would go a long ways if you would be okay with that.
He's like, well,
he's a man of his word. He'll hook us up. We know that.
If you're looking for a Goron Warhammer, I have one laying around here. But if you're looking for more, then you would probably need to check with the chief.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I honestly, I wish that I was better prepared for this impending adventure, but I had no idea that the day was going to take this turn.
It's understandable. It's pretty, I know it's kind of surprising. I know this is all very sudden, appreciate you being so gracious in the face of that.
You hear somebody clearing their throat behind you.
Hi?
Around.
Hello?
There's Romeo kind of waving the Goron hammer. He's like, I know that, Mr. Gully said no, but, if you're in need of a hammer and somebody to wield it, I'm and you change your mind, like I said, my dad's got an awesome story and I wouldn't mind one too.
I mean, I'm admittedly swayed.
Hick,
Yes.
Are you okay with your son coming with us?
Well, yeah. I don't think that there's anything of consequence in that cave. I think, especially since now I believe it to be safe, that I think it would be interesting to him to see the place where our epic battle took place. So
Nice.
so right now we have Gully at a hard no, and we have Deacon at a very sympathetic and hard yes. and it
Well,
would.
His father says it's okay. Fine. His death
thanks,
will
Scully.
be in our hands then.
Actually, there's someone more important we have to ask because you're the dad, but you're not, unfortunately, the chief. You need to ask Link first to see if he'll even allow it because he does have a
That's a good
shop in
point.
this town, so maybe he wants you to be like there and make money for them and whatnot like that. So we'll ask Link first, and then if he says yes, then Romeo, you can come along with us.
That good idea.
Here?
Can I come with you to ask the chief?
No. Why would you need to come with us?
Like, and he starts like kind of like twisting his toe back and forth like into the dirt. He's like, reasons, and he starts like swaying his like shoulders back and forth with like his hands like cupped behind his back. It's like, I mean, if I,
You need to go to the bathroom or something? I don't understand.
No, I'm just trying to be helpful.
It
I
might be
kind
good if he did come with us to ask him, so it does show that he is willing and this is something he wants to do, and we're not just kidnapping a child and making them fight.
that makes
True.
sense. It often good to avoid kidnapping children. That happened to me with the Gerudo once, and it didn't end well.
I would like to look around real quick and look for a decent sized rock.
Now, an actual rock or or a rolled up Goron?
An actual rock.
Okay.
Something that looks kind of tough.
Okay. Not difficult to find a hard rock.
Okay. Romeo, break that rock and you can come with us. And you have to use the hammer. You can't just do any Goron things. You have to actually swing the hammer and crack the rock.
He single-handedly takes the Goron hammer and just pulverizes this rock into just dust in one swing.
Well, that helped me remember you. Good job.
And he goes, "What?
What?
Huh?
Oh, sorry. Just saying, you look very strong.
Oh." And then he goes, "And that was with my bad hand."
Nice.
More than 8. Okay. Okay, let's go see Chief Link if everybody's ready.
Okay.
All right.
Yep, let's go.
Yeah.
So you make your way to Chief Link's hut.
Ask the guards, giving him, finger guns.
Likewise.
And,
Still employed for today. Talk to you later.
and you hear one turn to the other, and he goes, "Have you ever seen those guys before?" And he's like, "No, I think they mistook us for someone else." And the first one goes, "Are you saying that they can't tell us apart because we look nothing alike?" And it's like, "I ain't touching it." But yeah. So you make your way to Chief Link's hut, where he is present, as is Juliet, and you all kind of do you just like walk in? Do you announce yourself as you approach? Okay. Just throw the flap back and you all come in. Romeo's got his hammer kind of slung over his shoulder. Actually, no. He's running the bar of the hammer across his shoulder, and he's draping his arms over the front of it, trying to look as strong and masculine while simultaneously trying to look aloof. And it's not working. He's probably never actually done this with the hammer, and because of that, like every the longer he holds it, the more his body starts to kind of like tilt to the side from just the weight of the hammerhead, and eventually he just kind of like gets tired and drops the hammer.
As we're walking in, I'm just gonna touch his shoulder and cast guidance on him, just to help him out.
Nice. Okay.
I would also like to do. I would like to just give a quick enhance ability charisma on him as we're approaching. Yeah. You're gonna do like I'm just like I will try to hype him up a little bit. Like, it's okay, you're gonna do good. You're gonna get this right. Whatever it is that you're so nervous about. I know that you're visibly nervous about something. But okay, you could do that.
Okay. So let me see. We'll do a. Wait, let me do a custom roll because he is going to take a penalty. Let's see.
Can I give him an inspiration?
Absolutely.
Hype him up as
So
humanly possible.
I'm going to start off with his charisma roll.
Okay. The enhanced ability is advantage.
Okay, so I'm going to roll. Oh, gee, I didn't even look at that roll. Okay.
Oh man, this is not going to go well for the home team.
All right, so then I'm going to throw the
There's
guidance
got
on
the
it.
guidance too.
Yeah.
Mon 4.
Okay. And what is your inspiration die? 12?
Oh no, I was just saying like I was hoping for a 4, like in addition to the 4. You didn't actually roll it yet.
Oh, it's
Like,
it GM rolled. It came to a 3. So right now we're sitting at a 7.
7.
Gotcha. Okay, my inspiration roll is a D12.
All right, so we're throwing the inspiration on that, and we got 7 8. All right.
Not meant to be.
So he is going into
All
this.
the help in the world. Oh man.
Oh gosh.
But for those who have experienced Romeo, like this is textbook Romeo.
Yeah.
So, he's going into this with what was that? An 8 total? 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. A 9. Okay, I don't want to shirk him that one point. So,
Man.
as like the moment that you walk in, he kind of starts to like he begins to make a very enthusiastic couple of steps towards the princess, and he's like, "Princess, I wrote you up. Hi."
So, as he's doing that, Leto actually is going to walk straight to the princess, bow before her, and then hand her the flower crown.
And do you say anything? So she puts her hands out to accept the flower crown. She goes, "Oh, that's very kind. Thank you."
Gift from royalty should be always appreciated.
Yeah. Man, I might regret this, but I'm gonna just subtle spell glibness on myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to approach, and I'm just gonna say, "Hey, I should also do the thing where I like do a bow, but it's a little quicker and less good. It's less good than Leto's. I'm just gonna put it that way. But still he makes an attempt. And he's like, "Hey, sorry about waking you up other day. Got overexcited. Haven't been here. Got kind of impulsive."
It's okay. I mean, it was. I came off a little bit abrasive. Had I known that you were friends of my father, I would have perhaps been a little bit more courteous, and for that I apologize too. And
Not okay. I know it's hard being woken up. Me been woken up from that before, very cranky. I don't even want to imagine.
So when you step forward, do you step forward between her and Romeo?
I'm more like, I imagine Romeo's like in the middle and like Leto's like on one side, and then I'm just like on the other side of Romeo.
Okay, so when Romeo came forward, he came forward maybe like 3 steps from the entrance to like the entrance the entrance flap to the hut. So then when Leto came forward, Leto went all the way to the princess, which kind of like puts Leto in like the in between the two. So like from that, where would you be?
I'd be ahead of Romeo in this instance then, yeah.
Okay.
Just like,
so with Deacon, I mean Deacon doesn't really block anything, but with Deacon and Leto in front of Romeo, and Romeo kind of like catching himself with the whole like poem thing and stopping to be like, hi. He turns to Afine and Gully and like gives like a like and like trying to look for like support that he did something right by pulling back. So Gully and Afine, how do you take Romeo's performance?
He's trying, so I'm going to nod encouragingly. Probably not the best idea, but I'm going to.
Okay. And what about you, Gully?
Yeah, kind of a cringy look on his face.
So he gets the message, but he's a little bit like a little down, not upset, but just like he like when he caught himself, he recognized that he kind of gave into his behavioral habits and had to pull himself back, but he wasn't sure how well it was noticed that he did that. So he's more kind of like mildly upset with himself for kind of letting his overly romantic impulse just kind of like get away with him. So like he takes it as kind of like all right, I'll do better next time, but he recognizes that he kind of messed up a little bit. But with Deacon and Leto in front of him, he's at least convincing himself, be like, well, maybe they caused a big enough distraction that they didn't realize. Although he does, Leto, you do feel a little bit of daggers in the back of your head as he's kind of stink-eyeing you for giving the princess.
I don't know why he's doing that, so I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, basically that's what it is. It's like when a kid is angry at you and you have no idea why. That's exactly what it is. 0 to 10 for Romeo. I love it. Yeah. So Romeo does kind of like withdraw to the back of the tent, perhaps maybe to better collect himself, or just out of sheer embarrassment. But nevertheless, it continues. So Juliet, expresses everything that she expressed. She thanks you for the crown. It says it's a very nice gesture. And she kind of, so at that point, Chief Link kind of like redirects the conversation, and he's like, that's very kind, but I'm under the impression we have some matters to discuss.
Deacon kind of like enthusiastically claps his hands together. And he says, sorry, is this background noise too bad? Do I need to shut off my kettle? Just go ahead.
You're good.
You're okay.
Sorry. He claps his hands enthusiastically and he says, so, we've had a couple of things that we have to do here. Number one is we're investigating the Fire Temple on behalf of Queen Zelda, and came to inform you of that. Came to, potentially ask for any kind of aid you could grant us, as we're not sure what to expect in going in there. But also we wanted to let you know of something. I'm not sure. Deacon looks like he has to search for words for a second. Well, I'll get to that momentarily. And he says, the other thing is, after the great battle that you fought with the Dodongos, with many of your men in tow, we have a friend here, Romeo, who wants to, perform similarly grand feats. So we're going to, we wanted your permission to take one of your men through, Dodongo's cavern again and see if there's anything that needs doing in there, potentially, aiding us in our investigation for the Fire Temple, which would be important and, highly praiseworthy work from both the Crown and from us. And but of course, we don't want to risk one of your men without your permission.
Oh, well, that's very kind consideration. Unfortunately, my guards have. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but I feel they've gotten a little soft over the years, and although I don't believe that there is any imminent danger in Dodongo Cavern, um, I would be a little bit worried if something. I know that they would be in good hands, but I would be worried about sending somebody there. There can be dangerous things on the trek.
Sorry, if I may clarify, and not to cut you off too much, but we're just referring to our friend Romeo here. And I promise you, he's as strong as they come. Should see him crush things with even one hand tied behind his back. He's very fearsome, and I think this would be easy enough for him, if it's okay with you. I don't want to trouble you for any of your guards, as your guards have important duties protecting you, and it would be a shame to take them away from you.
So Chiefling kind of like looks past Leto and Deacon to Romeo, who at this point has backed up so far that his back is currently pressing on the flap of Chiefling's hut. And he goes, "You?" He goes, "Yes, Chief." Go, "You're Tick's kid, right?" He goes, "Yes, Chief." He goes, "Me and your father have some history. He's good. He's strong. And if you come from him, I think that you would be in good hands with these people." He says, "Thank you, Chief."
Deacon smiles and says, "Thank you, Chief. We appreciate this. It means a lot that you trust us with your citizens." But yeah.
So, Chief Link, if you want to send those two, guards from last night that were really lazy and let us walk by, I don't mind kicking them into shape. Because you need some good guards.
And he goes, "Leto, I appreciate the offer, but quite honestly, I think it's a little bit late for the elder part of our society. They have grown soft and complacent and ceremonial, if I'm to put it politely. However, Tick's kid here, That's the future of this village. Maybe not him specifically, but Goran's his age. And you know what? If you could do something with him, I would appreciate that more than, trying to toughen up a couple of marshmallows.
Deacon chimes in. We are the future. He says, we I promise we'll get him to be an example to all other young Goron. It's gonna be great.
That sounds like a step in a positive direction. You never cease to disappoint. You never cease to surprise. You never cease to surprise me, Deacon. Always. Every time we have met, you've always come up with very good plans. So
Thank you, Chief.
I trust that Tick's kid is in good hands.
So, Chief Link, I got a couple of requests. That's cool.
I'm listening.
Okay, first of all, do you have like a container or something that can carry lava?
No. I mean, if you were to cool it, that would be something entirely different. But to simply, lava's very hot.
Well, the thing is, from where we're, Hyrule Town, where, my shop and Deacon shop are, well, we're trying to create a new potion, and one of these aspects is lava, and I was trying to figure out how we could possibly get it to my alchemist. Unless you have an alchemist here.
Oh, sorry if I chime in. The lava can be cooled for the potion. We don't need it to be hot.
I didn't know that.
And yeah. Well, unbeknownst to that comment, Romeo chimes up, and he goes, "Well, if you take the cooled lava, you can reheat it in a forge. That might be the easiest way to transport it. Just food for thought." And he just kind of again backs up after making that comment.
I would like to thoroughly gas him up and go, "That's a really good idea, Romeo. I never would have thought about that. I see you take after your father's intellect too."
Thank you. He kind of bolsters himself up a little bit.
Excellent.
Okay, second.
Mm-hmm.
So, Deacon was thinking about setting up a trade between here and Castletown, so that way they can, do armor and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just giving you a heads up, so that way if you want to jump on the wagon and help speed that up.
Yeah. Just to thoroughly inform you, we planned on gathering up some Lionel horns and me adventures, and delivering them naturally here for use in Goron steel. And then as part of that trade, some of the Goron steel would be traded to Hyrule Castletown in exchange for other materials. Just kind of opening up a means of trade. For what it's worth, if it helps any, I am personally partner in the armory that you'll be doing business with, and I can vet that they're nice people who have good interest in at heart.
So he goes, well, that sounds beneficial. I simply have two questions on the matter.
Mm-hmm.
The first question is, does this have any ties to the crown, such as, for example, how the Adventurers Guild is tied to the crown? Is this in any way associated in the same manner?
In a technical sense, it's the guy that me run this with, Ken, runs the Royal Armory. However, this is an offshoot that I have personally funded. So it's run by more his son. So you could say there's like a very indirect relation to the crown. It's tertiary at best.
Okay, so it's not
So what we're
something.
saying is, would you like it to be?
No, no, we
Okay.
we pride ourselves here. We don't pride ourselves on many things, but one of the things that we do pride ourselves on is independence from, or to be as independent as possible from various factions. No disrespect to the crown, but it is preferable to minimize involvements of business dealings with them. Again, no disrespect to them, but a personal preference.
Understand.
So
No,
it sounds
just
like that there is
being
no direct crown involvement in this, which is beneficial from my point of view. And my second question is, for this business that you've started and you're running, is there any aspect of this business that you have indebted yourself to?
indebted.
Yeah, such as maybe taking out a loan from the bank or anything of that nature.
Not me personally, no. I funded it with some things I got from a very colorful time in my past.
Okay, and
And
I had the money, I'll put it that way.
okay, and I suppose just one last unforeseen question. Moving forward, you do not intend for these answers to change.
I will sooner I I will sooner fly from an airship and not on Shimkin's back than sign anything to the bank.
All right, then it sounds like we have uh, the beginning stages of an agreement. So yeah, from what you were explaining to me, it doesn't sound like that there would be any external involvement from anyone that I would personally not like to have dealings with. And by myself, I'm referring to my entire village.
Gotcha. Understand. Yeah, no, this is entirely on the up and up. It's I like I said, I hope you don't mind me not disclosing the exact means, but I promise you the bank had nothing on my.
I understand. I don't need to fully pry and understand the fine details as long as the important aspects are safe.
He nods. Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Well then, you have my support and my blessing on the matter.
Nice. We'll keep you posted on how things develop as they develop.
All right.
First step is getting the Lionel horns in the first place. And he chuckles.
Yes. So, all right then.
Oh,
Yes.
actually, I have one final question. There was a potter that I was told that me was told lives here. I had my armor actually send him a shipment of Lionel bones to see if they could be used to make anything. And I don't know that came of anything, but I was curious if there was anything that you might have heard about that as it developed, as they were sent here and then they kind of disappeared.
Oh,
I know it's a peculiar thing, but I just wanted to ask. Then my memory was just jogged by that interaction.
actually, Lionel bones. I think that I would definitely. Oh, I mean that would be a rare thing to come through this town, especially in the plural sense that it sounds like you're implying.
There were about 34, I believe.
And you said they never made it in, or
Oh, They allegedly made it to a potter who never got back to the person I was speaking with, which was my associate at the armory shop.
Oh. I mean, there is the potter in the northwestern area of town. You can definitely check with him.
Gotcha.
But
Do you happen to know of any uses for them? I was kind of just barking up a random tree because I wanted unbreakable pots.
well, Lionel Bones would from my knowledge, be good for that. I do know that Lionel Bones are very dense and durable. Um,
Mm.
and the potter is very skilled in dealing with many materials. But yeah, it's not something that I readily recall.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate your insight, and I will check in with him at our earliest. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, last 2 questions, I promise.
Yes.
Actually, 3 questions. Yes. So, you don't know much about Gorons, but do you guys drink?
I mean, everything drinks like.
Well, no, like, do you have like a flavor that you guys like more than anything else?
I mean, I'm particularly partial to the flavor of brimstone.
Mm.
I
don't
like.
think I can grow that.
Can you describe the flavor of brimstone?
Well, yeah, it's kind of it has when done properly, it has kind of a smooth, smoky texture to it. I mean, some of it kind of depends on what type of rock um, is being utilized to make the brimstone, but ultimately, smooth and smoky are the dominant characteristics.
Sounds nice.
Okay.
I glance over at his daughter and I ask if that taste runs in the family, or if she has something.
And her face like squinches up and like, no.
I feel like that's the equivalent of liver and I chime in. That kind of like liver and onions to you, huh?
Yeah.
I was thinking
It's
more
kind of
whiskey, but yeah.
it's kind of like asking a small child if they like black coffee.
Fair.
And in fact, that's kind of like the effect of it is, and the reason it's not something that's so dominant that you've come across it so often is the fact that the general process of making something with this flavoring, a beverage of this flavoring, is you have to kind of like scrape the cooked part of the stone off of it to make like a brimstony kind of ground that
Cool.
they then combine with water to give it like a coffee type drink.
Cool.
Visually coffee type drink. It gives them it doesn't have any caffeine to it.
Okay. No.
Sorry to interrupt again, but I ask if there's anything more palatable for the chief's daughter.
And
I ask her actually.
so she kind of like does a little thing and as she mulls it over in her head, and she's like, "Well, I kind of like I like fire flower tea."
That sounds nice.
Speaking of things you like, this is completely off topic, not related to anything. But if someone were to, want to gift you armor or a weapon, would you prefer any colors?
I mean, I feel like I'm supposed to say things like red, but you know, I kind of like pink and gold.
Pink and gold. That sounds like a nice little combination.
It
Yeah.
does.
Okay. Angola kind of looks over at Romeo.
He kind of gives like a not so subtle
Subtly.
nod.
Okay, good to know. Do you like flowers or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I like that tea. Um,
Mm.
I mean, fire flowers are uh, a big part of our culture in many ways, and one of the reasons that it's such a big thing is because it's one of the few types of flowers that don't just spontaneously burst into flames when they're here.
Ah,
Makes sense.
didn't know that. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You mean carry on?
Sorry about
Romeo
that,
is
Lita.
listening intently at this.
So, do you have like an alchemist that lives here?
Yeah,
Like a royal alchemist type person?
yeah.
Do they have a shop, or are they looking to get a shop? Looking to be sponsored by, like, me?
Oh, things like that around here are far too formal. If he's kind of, oh, what was his name?
You never gave the actual alchemist a name. You only gave Rohan a name. It was a little bit more.
I thought I gave him, like, I thought he was like the one alchemist that I did give a name to.
Shit, I don't know. Oh.
Oh well, either way, yeah, he's like I mean, there's really no even official shop. He just kind of works out of his hut, um, where all the Gorons kind of live. And I mean, quite honestly, he's not the busiest of the alchemists. There's not much to really to do around here. I mean, if you're looking for a potion or something, I'm sure he can help you out. But as far as the royal alchemists throughout the kingdom, you know, he's kind of he probably has the most free time.
Okay. So, when I come back, after we do what we need to do, can you set up like a meeting with him for me?
Sure.
A business proposition.
Yeah, I think that could be arranged. Not a problem.
Okay. Cool. That's all I have.
Dealing with this chief is so wildly different and like is throwing me for a loop, not gonna lie.
What's that?
Also, one last question. Do you need anything like when we're up there, like anything that's not like normal? Are there special like rocks that you guys eat that you haven't had a chance to get like in the past time? Or are there little things that you like left when you guys left the cave last time and went, oh, I forgot that, but I haven't gotten back to get it?
I mean, nothing particular comes to mind in that aspect. But I mean, if you're going to be up there anyways, and you don't mind a little bit of extra travel, it's always a good thing to stop by the big Goron and see how he's doing, see if he needs anything. We don't get up there as often as we used to, and it's just nice to kind of check in on him once in a while.
That's a good idea.
So, what was your alchemist's name?
Rocco.
Like stalactite. Go.
His name is Rocco.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Do they else have anything, or?
No. But that thing I said earlier, Puck was just. It sure is wild dealing with this chief over like the old chief. It's like throwing me for a loop. Not gonna lie.
He is very different. Quite honestly, I like him better.
I do too. I'm glad Makes me curious about Rohan, though. I'm.
We
He's gonna ask if.
we haven't seen Rohan yet.
Yeah, Deacon's not gonna ask about that. Actually, like that might be a sore topic, and he doesn't want to ruin it.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out with the alchemist, to be honest.
So, how about Afine? Afine, is there anything that you would like to question or request from the chief before departing the hut?
I don't have any questions, honestly.
I got one more. Alright. Just popped into my head. You have an adventurers guild up here by the chance?
Of course. We are required to have an adventurers guild.
I just turn to the group and smile and be like, you know, we're here. Maybe there's something we can do while we're here. But just, putting it out there because, Okay, let's go.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Well, bye, guys.
Princess?
So, one of the changes that I want to express to you guys about the change in the Adventurers Guild is that in prior iterations of the campaign, every town had a different quest line, and in order to complete the quest line, you would have to go back to the original Adventurers Guild to claim your reward and claim a different set of quests. In the new timeline, all the Adventurers Guilds are better connected now, so you can turn in any Adventurers Guild quest at any Adventurers Guild, provided you have the paperwork, which I know you do, and rather than having all different quests in all the different Adventurers Guild, every race has they share quests.
Nice.
So you can pick up and return any quest at any Adventurers Guild.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. So, next step.
To the caverns.
To the Dango Cavern. All right. So, you start.
All right, Romeo. Did you take note of what she said? Pink and gold.
Pink and gold. She likes fire flowers.
Uh-huh.
And
Nothing. No inscriptions. No poetry. Okay.
Right. I remembered. I almost did it, but I stopped myself.
All right. Good guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I don't think she noticed that I tripped up like that.
No, don't worry about that.
No.
Don't worry about that.
I was
So
smooth.
wait, do you have like a crush on her or something?
No.
Oh, well, yes, he does.
Oh. Well,
No, she
as someone who, has a lady of his own, I could tell you all about the birds and the bees.
I don't want to know about birds and bees. I want to know about princesses and what type of armor I should make her. I was going to make her a little crown, a little circlet, but somebody gave her a little flowery thing instead.
Yeah, because flowers are better.
I'm better.
Want to bet?
Yes.
Leah, okay, we're going to go ahead and stop this right here.
It's not a competition.
He's only 15, Lito. First crush.
I'm just saying, I actually have a girlfriend and you don't, so.
Yeah?
Lito, come on.
Then he kind of kicks a pebble that's in front of him. Not pebbles. He kicks a pebble that's in front of him. He goes, well, I've never seen her.
Well,
nice
that's because She's too good for you.
What is she? She goes to a different school? Is that what it is? You
Actually, she's Hyrulean and she's on a quest.
Oh. How coincidental. Next thing you're going to tell me she's a model and I would never know who she
No.
is.
She's actually attached to one of the goddesses, though. Oh, saying.
Mm-hmm. If you say so.
That's Deacon. Deacon's met her.
This is true. He speaks the truth. She is actually a quite divine being.
Wait, really?
Oh.
Really nice. Blue hair, beautiful eyes.
Well, if Deacon says
Yes,
she's
sir.
real, I believe him.
Good.
Yep. Okay. Again, it's not a competition.
This is true.
Also, your dad met her too.
Stop. Leto, let it go.
Just saying.
Adult, remember you. That's what you are.
Depends. How old do you have to be an adult?
In Zora, Hardy, and Gerudo years, it really depends.
Yeah.
Okay, what about in our years? I don't really know.
I can check.
Well, we DQ'd, I think for us it's 12.
We'll research that and get back to you, okay?
Eh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably good to know. You are.
Till that time, I'm not an adult, so
You're actually a little childish right now, so yeah, it's par for the course.
So, you know what? You can have your little goddess blue-haired girlfriend because I'm going to do really important things and I'm going to marry the princess one day, maybe, eventually, possibly.
I'm sorry, what's that? Chief Link wants to talk to me about the guy who's going with us, who's not going to go anymore, and keep his daughter away from her? Totally, I should go in and talk to him. Because he totally trusts me, and he doesn't know you, really.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So shall we keep fighting, or would you like to stop?
I would like to go to the cavern and
create an adventure. Let's go.
That's
Come
right.
on.
Good stories that will make
totally
me
true, right?
Yeah, really
Make
good,
an
important
adventure.
stories, and they're all true.
Fine, let's go. How far away are the caverns, by the way?
The caverns are 4 hours north.
And it is gonna feel its length.
Yeah, with these two, oh yeah.
So,
well, would you like me to make it faster?
Please.
Okay. So I will do the exact same thing that I did before, and I will summon 2 giant eagles. And turn into a giant eagle. And
invite Romeo to hop with me on Shemkin.
And he happily accepts. As he plops on, he's like this. He kind of like probably never flown before in his life. He clings to everything that he possibly can. Like he grabs Deacon like really tight. He like kind of like squeezes his legs together to get like a firm grip on Chimkin.
I have the feeling he's like never so much as jumped.
Yeah, that is a fair conclusion to come to. and he and Deacon under his breath, you just hear him mutter, and he's like, "This is more comfortable than a stupid bird, anyway."
I knew it.
Wow.
Knew it.
As a giant eagle, I have really amazing hearing, and I would hear that and just be like, whatever.
Absolutely.
But he wouldn't know that. So,
I know.
so eventually you take
But does
off.
he say it in common or Goron?
Saying it to Deacon, he would say it in common.
Mm-mm. Deacon is going to reply. Chimkin says you should respect all birds equally.
And he pets Chimkin and he goes, "No, I respect Chimkin the most."
Oh, she blushed. She likes it.
Somebody's getting polymorphed.
Oh gosh.
So we come to about midday. Yeah, a little bit past midday as you start to approach Dodongo Cavern. You land and you come to the entrance of the cave.
Is it sealed or is it open?
It is open.
And the mysterious essence is gone, or is it still there? Last time we had to walk through it.
Oh, okay, that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
No, it is a regular opening to a regular cave. What that was during the prologue was that was a way for the other entity to force you into an exact moment in time where you weren't able to skip around, like kind of like fade in and out, like you did with Kyburn. So that was the other entity's way of basically attempting to put you into an ambush. So now now that you are at the entrance to the cave, it is a perfectly normal entrance to what appears to be a regular cave. Before progressing any further, is there anything you want to do, observe, anything like that before going into the cave? Any ability checks and any support spells, anything like that?
Let's see. I do kind of anticipate something bad happening, but at the same time, yeah. You know what? I am going to I'm gonna hit on myself a level 5 armor of Agathis, and a mirror image, just in case. I have a bad feeling it was.
Okay. So I'm going to start putting these things into this chat. So we have a...
I just have 2 quick things I need to do.
Yeah.
At the entrance, like against the wall, I'd like to druidcraft as much like algae type substance, basically creating a big enough doorway that I could then use later on to get out.
Okay. Actually,
That would be a plan.
hold on a sec. Deacon, what did you cast besides Armor of Agathis?
Mirror image.
Okay. And mirror image. Okay. And then we got Lido is druid casting. Vines, you said?
An algae. Basically, I need a substance that I can have that's not going to like just automatically die. Big enough that it's big enough for us to walk through one at a time.
Okay, so you're kind of like limiting the entranceway with the algae.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right. And anything else?
I was just going to see if I could do a perception check to hear if anything's alive inside the cavern.
Okay, and roll for perception.
Yeah, Gully, because he goes inside. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, Gully. Anything? Any preparations for you?
No, he's just giving Romeo a little pep talk. Making sure he's ready to go for this little adventure into the cave.
Hell yeah.
Pep talking Romeo. And Effine, anything for you?
Only I had inspiring leader.
Can I check the ground outside the cave to see if there's been any recent movement in and out?
Absolutely. Okay, so we will roll to investigate foot traffic outside cave. All right, so there we go. This is where we will pick up in 2 weeks, but everyone give me what's everyone's passive perception? I know, Lito, I know you're 19.
12.
13.
Where the heck? Ooh. Okay. Oh, there it is. 17.
Okay, so I will say with those passives that you do notice that there is some type of odor coming from the cave. It is. Let me see.
Lito, did you let one rip over there?
Gully, did you ever go through Dodongo? You never went through Dodongo Cavern, right? Okay, so there is a combination of smells which you are kind of unable to currently place. But Lito, you recognize one of the smells as a decaying Dodongo corpse. So that is where we will leave it. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This has been a very very fun and entertaining broadcast. I have thoroughly enjoyed DMing it, and I hope the players have enjoyed playing it and the viewers have enjoyed viewing it.
That was a blast, man.
Thank you. We will pick up the next episode of this campaign in 2 weeks. Next week, we will have a chat broadcast. And in that chat broadcast, we will talk about a number of things, including recapping this campaign and perhaps trying to figure out maybe stuff that happened or is happening. We'll talk about some changes in NPCs, things that we really kind of when we do the broadcast, I try to stop and elaborate on things as much as I can because I know that there is so much lore and history in this campaign. But if I were to stop and do that with everything, the campaign would never progress. So those are things that we try to reserve for the chat broadcast. So if there's anything that that can be elaborated on, we definitely will do that next week, as well as talk about a number of things, including any of the progress that we have been making in the gaming system that's been working on. And also, I was watching a live feed today from the Cobalt Press, and this week they are saying that they're going to have a major announcement pertaining to Project Black Flag. So if you haven't been following that, I highly recommend going to Cobalt Press's YouTube channel and subscribing and being a part of that, because I'm very excited to see what this announcement is going to be. And I'll probably, I think they'll talk about it before Friday. So provided that they talk about it before Friday, I will probably be talking about it at least a little bit next week. So, before we cut, I'm seeing if we have anybody broadcasting that we have mutual contacts for, that we mutually follow. And I don't think so. I think it is a quiet night on Twitch tonight. Oh, wait, let me see. Nope. Nobody that we mutually follow is broadcasting tonight. So we will not be rating tonight, but I recommend that you check out our link tree and check out channels of people that we have rated in the past. They're all awesome people. And while you're there, do all that other good stuff too. Check out the Discord link, follow our, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I think that I finally have a fairly good grasp on getting a consistent upload schedule. So I am aiming to have this broadcast uploaded by later Monday. So for those who are interested, I always post in our Discord whenever the video goes live. So definitely, if you're not on the Discord server, check that out. But if not, we'll see you on the next broadcast. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to my players for being as awesome as you always are. And we will see you next time. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
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 Bye bye.